Welcome to the Pay Love Forward and Resilient Stories podcast. My name is Dr. Matthew Leavenworth, founder and director of Pay Love Forward. This series tells stories from the quiet edges of courage, stories of people who rebuild themselves and the world around them through perseverance, friendship, and love. At Pay Love Forward, our mission is to build compassionate communities for the at-risk and underserved through mentorship. Story is one way we live that out, because story shapes identity, and an identity shapes what becomes possible. In this episode, I sit down with my dear friend and longtime climbing partner, Alex Saunders. Over the years, Alex and I have shared ropes in storms, long runouts, and longer conversations. We've stood together on ledges halfway up the side of the world, and we've stood beside each other as best men at our weddings. Our lives have been braided together by miles of granite and sandstone and years of trust. We talk about big walls like the nose on El Capitan and Yosemite Valley, and Northwest Regular on Half Dome, including our climb on Half Dome after the 2014 rockfall, when we became the first team to cross the new blank section with a lasso toss and help piece the route back together. But the real story isn't simply about climbing, it's about what the mountains revealed and what friendship had to carry. At Pay Love Forward, we believe that telling the story within the story is a mechanism for healing. This conversation includes descriptions of trauma, addiction, fear, and witnessing death. There were moments that shaped us and who we become, and when we tell them truthfully, they help us recognize each other's humanity and turn isolation into community. This episode is about friendship that refuses to let go and about the mountains that kept calling us back. The world needs better stories, stories that tell the truth while still making room for hope, and Pay Love Forward intends to tell them. All right, yeah, we're officially live. All right, I am here right now with my best friend of forever, Alex Saunders, and we are currently in Estes Park at Hannah's cabin, at your guys' cabin, overlooking Longs Peak, which is a sacred mountain, I would say, for both of us. And we're going to have a conversation about rock climbing.
About rock climbing, huh?
Yeah, rock climbing and a few other things, I think.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Matt.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right, so it's about rock climbing, but maybe just to give kind of a preface to that as far as maybe some of your climbing accomplishments that I've participated in. So not only have you been my best friend for a very long time, but you were best man at my wedding.
I remember that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I was best man at your wedding.
Come to think of it.
Yeah. And so, and also, I think a fair number of our notable climbing accomplishments have been shared accomplishments.
I think, pretty much every cool climbing thing I did was probably with you.
We did that together. Well, there's a few others, man. So I as far as your resume, so we climbed the nose together. We did a first ascent on Half Dome. We'll tell that story in a little bit.
Sure.
You also put up a first ascent on Devil's Tower. Which is a pretty cool story, and that I was not a participant in.
Yeah. That was fun. Big old aid line. Mm-hmm. Crazy times.
You get a winter ascent on Longs, which is the mountain that we're looking at right now.
I've been up there in February. It's it's windy in the winter.
Yeah. It's really windy out there right now.
Yeah, and cold. So.
And a variety of others too, like Moonlight Buttress and Washington Column. And I know that even Leaning Tower in Yosemite, so a number of these are climbs in Yosemite that are qualified as big wall climbs. Yeah. Maybe describe what a big wall climb is, which is kind of what you and I probably specialized in or put the most energy and effort into.
So big walling, it means different things to different people. And a lot of people confuse it with that wall's big. But there's a defined term for it, and it's essentially a grade 5 wall. There's different grade systems for climbs, 1 through 7, and 1 being single pitch, 2 would be it's going to take half a day. 3, 4 is this might take an entire day,
a full day,
a 24-hour push or something. And then a grade 5 wall is the common climber does it in 2 to 3 days. And then it goes up from there to 7 days.
The nose, is it 5 or is it 6?
The nose is a grade 6.
Grade 6, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is a multi-day significant climb that requires, a pretty massive investment.
I believe the average climber does it in 5 days.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on how you calculate those averages, because some of these things are changing with, with free climbers climbing at pretty incredible levels these days.
Yeah, they're probably throwing the average off a little bit.
Uh-huh. For sure.
There's a difference between mortals and
the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in the other category.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So Alex, let's take it back to the beginning, man. Where did climbing start for you?
Well, I came from the high plains of Chicago, Illinois, and then when I was in 3rd grade, we moved all the way to Iowa. It was pretty awesome. So my dad, what was it? I think it was the year we moved to Iowa. My dad wanted to go on a big family vacation. I was 8 years old, and this was the first time we were going to do something with me that was more than just going to grandma's house or whatever. So we're going to drive all the way across the country and go hiking in this place that my dad went to when he was in his 20s and saw the most amazing things and he had all these cool stories about it. I'd never seen a mountain before. I don't know what he's talking about. So yeah, we drive all the way out there. He's all about like driving on 2-lane roads and stuff. So we got to stop and, he wants to eat at the barbecue restaurant you can smell from a couple miles away, and wants to start, the little trading posts that, are going to have coonskin hats that are made out of like animal, like roadkill, that sort of thing.
The cross-country experience. He wants you to see the country.
Like just classic, right? It was great though. And then one morning we drove into Yosemite National Park, Yosemite Valley, right? Because you got to drive for a while in the park. Mm-hmm. But then you just drive into the valley, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Everything just gets bigger.
Yeah, the proportions get off all of a sudden.
In this like way that you can only feel. Mm-hmm. It's pictures don't do it justice. I've heard a lot of people try and tell stories about it. It just doesn't. You got to like drive in and feel it. It's pretty cool. Everything's just big.
It's huge. Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, like, a grade 5 wall in Yosemite looks small. Mm-hmm. Like, there are grade 7 lines out there. Like, the place is enormous. So my dad wants to hike to the top of Half Dome.
Yeah, so you're like 8 years old. You're with your dad. You're on your first cross country experience, and then have just entered into like what is kind of a fantasy land. Like it feels unreal.
Like, what is going on? And we're gonna go on this hike, right? And we're gonna hike up the backside of Half Dome. We're gonna camp overnight, and then we're gonna go to the top of the mountain. And I don't even know what going to the top of a mountain means at this point, but I do remember setting my brand new Coleman dome tent up in the basement multiple times and like practicing lighting fires and stuff because I was going to go camping this summer. And now we're like doing it, So we do the whole camping thing. We got a campfire going.
It's a huge adventure for an 8-year-old especially, but like even for anybody, because I think, what I recall is like 8 miles just to the back end of Half Dome, right? Like it's, it is, which significant altitude gain as well.
Yeah, we got to do the backpacking thing. We got all the tents and stuff on our back and carrying it all up there. Mm-hmm. Then we camp overnight, and it's like just wild, having a good old time. And then the next day we're going to go to the top of this mountain, my dad keeps saying. I don't know what the frick that means. And so we start doing it. It's awesome. And then all of a sudden you get to this like giant dome thing.
Your football helmet of just granite.
Yeah.
Of just stone. And
you got to like go up these cables. And I remember there just being 1 million people there. And
there's a line of ants, up the side of a turtle shell.
And just looking up that thing like, that looks scary, but dang, there's a lot of people doing this. Whatever. So you go up the top of this thing,
Which I think up there with Angel's Landing, it's one of the most dangerous hikes, at least, because it's like this slick granite dome, and you're clambering up, holding on to this old rusty cable. Like, it's not safe,
And there's a lot of like, so it's like 2x4s that are bolted into the rock and then some wires, right? But the reason that a lot of people get hurt is because they get all excited and they want to go. They're trying to pass people or something. And so they go outside of the wires and they try and go on just the rock. And all these people just have like tennis shoes on or something. They're like, oh, no big deal. But it's just steep enough that if you slip and fall without, you don't have anything to grab onto.
You just fall forever.
It's not a good, not primo. So we get to the top of this thing and I feel freaking accomplished. And I am just looking out like this is just insane.
When Half Dome's so cool because it's like it's top of Yosemite Valley, like it looms over because like it's 2,000, 2,500 foot sheer face, with a kind of the turtle shell back of it, but it's looking out over the valley and it really is the highest point, and so you just get this panorama of just it, and it's like the land of the giants, right? Like
supposedly
everything is so enormous.
On a clear day, you can see the ocean. I haven't seen it myself, but so we get up there, and I'm just looking around, crazy. This is awesome. And all of a sudden, this dude comes over the front. He just like kind of comes clambering up. He's got a bunch of climbing gear on. I'm like, whoa.
Where did you come from?
That guy didn't come from where I just came from. Where did that dude come from? And there's this thing they call the visor up there. And it's just this like triangle that kind of sticks out the top of it. And I like go out on that thing. A lot of people are staying away from the edge.
It's like a diving board. It like hangs over, just an endless drop underneath.
Yeah. And so I like run out on this thing and I just remember laying down and scooting out so that like my chest is at the edge and I can just like feel all the open bigness. And it was so cool. I don't know. It's just like the coolest thing I'd ever felt. And then I looked down and there's this other guy coming up. Like the first guy come clambering up. I don't know what's going on. But now I can actually see this other person.
You're watching him.
And that dude's like rock climbing, Like I've heard about rock climbing. Dude, that guy's doing it. Like, but whoa, like look how high up he is. Oh, it was so,
but it like imprinted something on you,
man.
And I'm definitely going to call this podcast The Flatlanders, which I think that's the title of the poetry book that I'm going to write one of these days on, because that's what we are, right? We're, us are a cohort of climbers, like we're from Iowa, right? Like where there is not a rock face or cliff, anywhere in
the highest altitude 513C in the country
is
in Iowa.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah. Google it.
Yeah, well, all right. So apparently there is some rock climbing. I don't think there was at that point in time.
No. When I was 11, we were climbing on like 40-foot limestone cliffs that were on the backside of farmers' fields. So all the little pockets that the limestone makes would fill up from the backside with mud. So you'd be like going after a freaking, go and throw for a big old pocket or something, and you hit it, and it's just muddy inside there, and you just peel out, you just spit off. Like, what's going on? But
so
it was fun.
Even at a very young age, like, so you had this experience where you encountered rock climbing at its most, like in its most elite form, right? Like it had this impact that made this impression on you, and then then you go back to Iowa. And I think that's where this story really, to me, gets interesting, because this is such an interesting story, I think, because of the unlikelihood of, maybe what we accomplished, and not to like put what we've accomplished on some pedestal, but like at the same time, like where we came from and our background, it's an unlikely outcome and in a very unlikely story. And I was thinking about this and very excited for this
this podcast also, Alex, because I think in some respects that a podcast is sort of like lead climbing, right? Like we sit down, right? There's microphones, there's some sound equipment right here. We have our stories, we have our thoughts and our ideas, and then we hit the record button and we just sort of go live. And you don't know what's necessarily up there, right? Like you don't know what you're going to discover along the way.
Kind of exciting.
It is kind of exciting.
Yeah. I know this isn't your first time, but it is mine.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Well, so I also just
gentle.
like to extend that a little bit further. I think of climbing as an analogy for life, like, right? As in you set out on this venture, right? Like this unknown adventure, and you just have what you bring with you, what you accumulate, what you learn along the way, and then there's this inherent risk in life, like I've been living inside of that, obviously with my son's leukemia, and then I've been talking a little bit about the brain injury I sustained. Like, life it can hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's built in to the adventure, right? Like the idea that something is safe, or the idea that you can control your reality in such a way that existence is safe, is just sort of a misnomer. And so I think about that. That's why I think climbing is so profound, because it's a manifestation of the reality of life. Like you pick an objective, right?
Yeah, and you can try really, really hard.
Yep.
And just get shut down.
Just get shut down. Uh-huh.
And just like in life, you can also like pay a lot of money and just have somebody like hold your hand and just like elevate you to the top, baby. If you got enough cash in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But there's a sort of a sweet spot in the middle, right?
There is, where you have to like learn the things and like put in the time and do what you got to do. And then you got to show up a bunch of times. Right? Like you can't just show up once. You got to like keep showing up.
And you can pick something that's just on the edge of your existence, right? Like maybe not Alex Honnold's existence, or maybe not the rest of everybody in Iowa's existence, right?
Sure.
But like something that's just on the fringe of what it is that you're capable of doing, and then you can just go after it, right? Relentlessly. And so I'm going to tell my origin story too, right?
Ooh.
Because I was like 26 or something like
this.
that.
Yeah, you got in a little late in the game.
Got in late in the game, right? Yeah. I was 26 or something, and Matt Prozik, a very dear friend of ours, took me to the gym, and he like asked me a million times, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he took me, and it was like instantaneous, right? Where it's like my life made sense, and because I was like such a risk I lived in this very high risk way, irresponsibly, I would say.
Sure.
Sensation seeking, something like that, and then I walked into the gym with Matt, and we were like grunting on 5/8, like with our shirts off and stuff. Like it was totally pathetic.
Just trying to climb like really fast on some like
just do pull-ups on
jugs.
100%. Yeah. But then Matt took me over to his house, and he showed me videos, and this was when Alex Honnold was kind of coming of age, right?
He was a little baby.
Yeah. And he had just I think he'd just done half dome free solo, right? And so anyway, Matt shows me this video, and it just like for me clicked, like I have to do that.
Right.
Like I have to do that.
Like, that's
like a singular realization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your life can just get focused around something like that. But I think that you and I collided in that, right? Because your early experience was, with your dad, just almost encountering something that you never could have wrapped your mind around until you just witnessed it. Like as an 8-year-old hanging over this diving board, the visor, and seeing these individuals coming up, and it implanted in something in you that
I was like, I got to do that.
You got to do that.
I got to do that.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back to, your background as a climber in Iowa, where there was no climbing, although apparently now there's a 13 something in the flatlands.
So on that visor, like I remember my mom, I looked up from that thing, like just wild. And I turn around and I look, and my mom's like 20 feet away. She's like crouched down, but also like trying to reach me. And she's like frantic, like, get away from me, get away from me. And I walk back over to her. I'm like, Mom, do you see those guys? That's what I'm doing when I get older. I don't know. Then I had to get like ask for climbing magazine subscriptions for my birthday or something. I'm like 8 years old and I live in Iowa. How am I going to learn about any of this? Mm-hmm. And I get so stoked about it that my dad's like, all right, we'll give it a shot. And, so he takes me to the limestone place, and my dad didn't know how to rock climb. So he's like buying VHS tapes, and we're like watching VHS tapes on how to belay. And like practicing by like throwing a rope over a tree, We bought the Gree 1 because I weighed like 60 pounds and I was trying to belay my, full grown dad. And then he'd like tie me to a rock, and, every time he fell, then
because it wasn't like anchor bolts. I mean, there was nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was, it was just like, I don't know. I guess what I thought climbing was always going to be instead of what it kind of turned into. But,
so, and then I know that kind of some of the early exposure, there was like a barn or something like that somebody finally built.
Oh yeah. A couple guys like essentially rented an old dairy barn from their grandpa and built plywood walls on the inside. They even like in the top of the barn, the walls went up and touched so you could like lead climb from one side to the other. And it was just, I don't know, it was freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. Like you just go up and the whole place was heated with the little propane heaters, and, got like rocks on the floor and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was just the only people who were there were the people that wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you and I have witnessed an evolution of climbing, right? That, that came from, I think you think of kind of the hard men in Yosemite who blazed that trail.
Sure. And,
Yvon Chouinard and Royal Robbins and all of these legends that were just, rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Bird.
Yeah, right? Absolutely, man, all these guys, right?
Yeah.
And then we've watched it transform into like a fairly mainstream sport. Right now it's like officially an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
And this is not I'm not criticizing this, but it is different. Like it is fundamentally different. And
I remember as a child watching the Olympics and thinking, why isn't rock climbing in the Olympics? Mm-hmm. And then as soon as rock climbing was in the Olympics, I was so excited. I remember watching it, and my first thought was, not like this.
That's not wait a minute.
Like this.
That's like the speed climbing edition. Come on. It's so like departed from what maybe the history or the origin.
No hate. Some of those athletes are very impressive.
Yeah,
that's a thing. It's cool. For what it is, it just I don't know.
It's divorced from its ancestry in some respects.
Yeah,
which is like the bird taking LSD on the side of El Cap and like chiseling his way on on aid lines and like zippering pitches and then like taking some more acid
to take the next lead because my acid's kicking in, man, and I'm starting to trip balls, come on. Yeah, those guys are having a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Spending freaking 12 hours on one aid pitch. Yeah.
So all right, so this is your entry point into climbing, some limestone, like this early exposure, and then they built this barn. And at some point in time, Pete Cutler enters this narrative, right?
My buddy Peter. Junior high.
Yeah.
So there was the barn. We're 13, 14 years old, right? We don't have a car, nothing. It's like a 45-minute drive to get there. So I think we might have met at the barn. And then our parents were like, hey, we don't live too far from each other. We should do a carpool deal. And then so me and Pete just started hanging out. Mm-hmm.
Just give a description of Pete, our dear friend Pete Cutler, prom king Pete.
Oh, man. Everybody loves Pete Cutler.
Yes, I do.
There is
for good reason, right?
Yeah. He's a fantastic human being. Just like the nicest guy. Type of dude who'll like give you the shirt off of his back and apologize that it's so dirty, right?
Has he done that? He might have actually
Probably
done that at
I
some
don't know.
point.
Well, he convinced me to give one of his friends my pants once. I remember that. Just the nicest guy. Super ambitious. Has done some of the coolest stuff. He's but he's all about it in every form. He's like got a successful business, married, 3 kids, flies to Mexico in the winter to, chill out on the beach and, I don't know, just all the stuff, country club membership.
Yeah, well, he's like
stuff,
clean
right?
cut too, right? Like he's
Just a nice, but he's also done just some huge climbing stuff that's like.
Yeah, he is. I mean, now I've lived in Montana for like 10 plus years. Like we've got crushers all over the place. I still think that Pete is probably the most elite climber that I know personally.
He's like buddies with like the guys who write the books, and then Pete's just like kind of in the book.
He's got a few footnotes, like just scattered throughout, right? From some first
because
ascents
him and the author of the book were like, hey, let's go do something rad.
Yeah.
And then, they just casually.
When like his system, right, is to like work for 60 hours a week, like, with his extraordinarily successful business that he owns doing construction.
Yeah.
And then fly out like at 5 p.m. or something like that.
On a Thursday.
Like on a Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And then get to like California or like Colorado or like.
Yeah.
And then like maybe sleep a couple hours and then wake up and then run like 15 miles into like the backcountry and then put up like a monster multi-pitch.
Yeah. And then just do like, grade 5 first ascents.
Yeah.
15 miles back that nobody's ever got because they're too far away. It's just.
This is like a weekend trip for
just
our
crazy
good
shit.
friend.
And then he's like back to work, having a meeting about how he wants to like, make the construction community in Des Moines more eco-friendly.
Yeah.
And like is figuring out ways to like
he's effectively doing that.
Build buildings in a more carbon neutral way and I don't know, doing cool stuff.
Yeah, we used to give Pete so much shit for being so square, right?
Oh man.
But he's really like the most, I don't know, man, it's a deserving kind competence that is.
He's a nice guy.
Extraordinarily admirable.
Does cool shit.
And he does very cool stuff.
Yeah. Which inspires me to try and do cool shit.
Yeah.
And once in a while I'm successful.
Yeah, we've been successful on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep fast forwarding. So through high school, and then so because our conversation really we kind of picked 3 themes, which were mental health, friendship, and rock climbing.
Sure.
And so maybe kind of like just fast forward through that phase of becoming a climber.
I can tell you.
I know there's a variety of stories.
Some of the mental health stuff. There's like a little climbing break in there when I was a teenager, right?
Yep.
I discovered drugs, alcohol, and women at kind of an early age, and that kind of threw me off track.
Sidelined the climbing a little bit. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And
as it so often does.
It so often does, right? So then I spent 6 months in inpatient treatment, doing the things. I've been to the meetings, I've got the chips and stuff.
Yep.
Sober from the Yayo, October 16th of 2004. That's right. Thank you. Been free from the booze, coming up 4 years. I think in like 3 days, be 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
so this has all been a work in progress, right? This is unfolded over the course of our friendship, over your climbing career, over your lifetime. Yeah, for sure.
And essentially, like when I was younger and we were going to the climbing gym all the time and whatever, it was awesome. But then like about the same time that we were able to get cars, right? And Pete can drive himself and like continue to make good decisions and do cool stuff. And then I started making bad decisions. So fast forward to...
Well, so just a little more context too, right? Because we went to the same high school. And I was also making...
You were,
an extraordinary sequence of bad decisions.
Yeah, one of your good friends punched me in the face one time.
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I was in a grade up from you.
Yeah.
And so we were in separate grades at the same high school making terrible decisions.
Yeah.
totally independently of each other, not even really knowing of each other's existence.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a, what was it? You walk across the street from the high school, and there was there was 2 separate apartment complexes right across the street from the high school. Well, the garages of those apartment complexes butted up. They like backed against each other. Mm-hmm. Perfect place to go rip the bong, during, PE or whatever.
They send you on some laps. You go hit the bongs and then, we were just running. We just out there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So then I went to drug treatment and spent a little time in there, spent a little time in juvie, you learn things there, right? One thing that really stuck with me, one of the guys was like, don't think about it that this is someone else's underwear, right? Because you're all like sharing clothes, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like, don't think about it as someone else's underwear. Think about it as everybody's underwear. So.
Words to live by.
Yeah. It was, I would advise against it, if you're like, I'm thinking about making bad decisions and being a criminal.
Yep.
It doesn't work out. I don't know. It's not as cool as the movies make it seem. But yeah, so then I go to drug treatment. We get out, and then I want to do better, trying to make better decisions, working some shitty jobs, doing landscaping or something. And then the new climbing gym opens.
Mm-hmm. Climb Iowa.
Yeah. Oh, man. And this was, at the time, a state-of-the-art facility.
Just beautiful.
Oh,
it really, it still is.
Great gym. But the biggest part for me was the community. All of a sudden, right? I started going to the climbing gym again, and then now I'm 20.
So it was a rediscovery for you in some respects, like this love that you abandoned for some level of delinquency.
Yeah.
But twofold then. I mean, because I love what you're saying there, that it was both rediscovering rock climbing, which was an early passion, but also a community.
Yeah. It was all of a sudden like people that I could learn from, people I could talk to, and more importantly, people that were already going on trips that had an open spot in their car.
Mm.
Yes. This was the best. If you could get in on a car with a couple of older dudes, sounds a little creepy when I say it that way. But yeah,
they embraced you. Yeah,
there was some people who are more experienced at climbing than you. They're going climbing, and they got an extra spot in the car. You hop in, have a good old time, and you'll learn a bunch of stuff. And they'll probably make fun of you, and give you some shit the whole time or whatever. But you're gonna walk away from it educated.
Yeah.
And that was good stuff back then. Yeah, people you probably get the same thing from watching a YouTube video now, right? How Not To's got a lot of good tutorials.
Sure. Yeah, but it's so different. Like, I mean, that was like learning on the learning on the fly in proximity of relationship. There's something that is so much deeper, right? Than I don't know, that world that is just packaged and handed to us now.
So somebody told me something early on. They're like, you don't learn the same stuff at the gym because most of the learning happens around the campfire.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really sure what that meant at the time, but most of the stuff, the random Google hacks or the different stuff or the different way to think about it comes from the conversation with the people on the days in between, right? Because you're going out on a 4-day climbing trip. Mm-hmm. That's all anybody's thinking about is rock climbing. Mm-hmm. You just went climbing all day.
It's such an obsession, right?
Yeah, and now you're sitting around a campfire. That's all anybody's going to talk about. That's when you learn the most stuff. It's not the day on the wall, which is also fun. You're going to learn a lot of things there, but you're going to learn the real stuff sitting around the campfire. Mm-hmm. And that's the type of stuff that gets you up a big wall.
Mm-hmm. Also, maybe the stuff that's healing in some ways. If you think about, that transition out of one lifestyle into something that you embraced and then embraced you. And to some degree, I mean, you're talking about a sequence of people, you maybe mentors, maybe, just people who agreed to open up that spot in your car and take you along for the ride.
Oh,
even
yeah,
if you
the
were green
mentor
and
thing was huge. Yeah.
We'll say more about that.
I'm not sure how someone would learn to big wall climb without a mentor. Like, I don't know, like our dynamic worked well because we were both interested in learning. But like I had done one or two, like I kind of had my toes wet, right? And then you were like super in. And so then we both like read stuff and try stuff and figure stuff out. But I think like I just needed somebody to show me that it was possible first, right? It's hard to believe that something's possible if you've never actually seen it. And just having somebody go with you and be like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. It makes going back and trying it again so much easier. And you know, you got so much confidence. And that was kind of where I think we picked up.
Well, yeah, so there's like 5 years there, right? Before I entered the story, where, you know, you went to climb Iowa, you found a community, you re-embraced a passion. You know, maybe that was a part of what got you out of, you know, some of those lifestyle choices. Oh, yeah. And, you know, discovered going on trips, like in, you know, these, like, I mean, our whole world was oriented around that for quite some time. So, I mean, I in some ways, I inherited the knowledge that you were acquiring in this time frame, and then had to go through that same, you know, like I was the green one, and
you still got to learn your own
yeah,
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
What were you doing for those 5 years?
Oh man,
before I entered the scene.
21. I got a baby. Cutest little thing, McKinley, named her after a mountain. She hasn't taken me up on it, but I'm really hoping that one day she's gonna be like, hey Dad, what do you say we climb that mountain that's, you know, I'm named after? That's going to be awesome. I still got a ways to wait on that one, you know. We'll see what happens. Then her mom leaves me because, I don't know, because we're like, you know, early 20s and we're stupid, right? We're just young adults. We ain't got no clue what's going on or whatever. And you
know, maybe just to like give that some context, right? Like it's not like you were a delinquent, discovered rock climbing, and then were an angel. On the other side of that, we were still fairly invested in reckless and.
No, I mean like the bird was a bad dude, right? Like he was, you know, he changed the game. He like, oh man, I grew up like idolizing the guys doing it, you know what I mean? Like fucking going for it. Yeah, and they're like
stone masters, man.
They're just out there. And I don't know, about when I was like getting good at it, then everybody wants to like eat healthy and like, you know, take celery with them up there and like do push-ups before they start climbing or something, you know? It's like, what the fuck? Just climb, man. What are you talking about? It turns out that's not, you know, me being 20, I didn't have the best ideas. I was very positive that I was a fucking genius back then. And looking back, I can guarantee I was not. It was a good time though. Good times. We, at first when it came to climbing, we just went for it, right? Like there wasn't enough data that said exactly how dangerous this was. So you just kind of go for it, right? And then eventually, like, people start getting hurt near you, and it's like, oh, shit, maybe I should chill out a little.
But we were unscathed for a time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember one story that occurred prior to my entrance into the narrative, but like where you and Pete were on a big wall and he like zippered out some pitch out in Zion.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was wild. So essentially my first big wall, go out with my buddy Peter. My buddy Peter has made much better decisions. And
he was eating the celery and probably doing the push-ups.
Yeah. He did a couple push-ups. He went to college, you know, made some quality decisions with his life. And then after college, him and his brother went on like a, 2-month Yosemite, Zion, like big wall tour, doing the damn thing. I was like, holy shit, my friend actually did it. And So he had come back. This was about a year later. He had come back from that, and his brother's got like a real job now. Pete's like, hey, man, I want to go big walling again. So he takes me out. We're going to go climb Space Shot in Zion because Pete wants to work on his like a little bit trickier aid stuff. And so this is my first go. I'm having a freaking blast, man. We get...
Which is, climbing with Pete is really fun because you don't really have to do anything.
You don't. He's so good. Like, he just keeps going.
Yeah. Right.
And he's always, like, stoked. And he's always, like, he's just jazzed.
Best attitude,
He
man.
never stops moving. The dude's got more energy. Like if you're not feeling it and you stand by him.
He's just like osmosis, man. Just absorb.
Like you get more energy. It's fantastic. So we're just always going for it. So we're, what is it? First day, made it up 4 pitches, had a good time. We got the portal edge out. We're sleeping in the portal edge. My first time on a ledge. It was freaking wild, man.
It is wild.
Oh, it's so freaking cool. And yeah, then it's his start. And I remember it was like freaking cold and we're in one of those valleys. So the sun is like up, but not on us, right? Like this is going to take a while, and I don't really want to get out of the freaking sleeping bag because it's cold. He's like, I'll warm up and start climbing. He just takes off. He's going. He does this fun pitch where he like goes up and then he's got to do a big traverse, and then there's some tricky aid right above the like traverse, and he does like 6 brassy moves in a row or something gross like that, right? And he, and I guess he's like standing on one, trying to like double weight himself off of a second or something, and then like gets a good nut in, reaching up real high. Oh yeah, also he's like 7.5 feet tall with a 9-foot wingspan or something like that. So he can just like reach to the top. You know, bouldering's not his thing, right? He just
it's his wingspan. Yeah.
So he gets this like good nut in. And he's like, oh, I got a good one. And then he shifts his weight because he had it like even on 2 pieces. And he shifts his weight so that he can bring his aider up. And he's just on one, and it just pops, and then poof, poof. And I remember looking up, watching him fall. And you could just
you're like literally in a sleeping bag right now.
Yeah,
but you're like stretched
I'm
out.
still
like
in my sleeping bag. Like I got some music going because I'm kind of like passing out, right? Like it's an aid line. Like he's been up there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, they can take like 2-3 hours, right? You're just like stuck there on belay. It's fairly miserable. Yeah.
So I'm laying in the sleeping bag. I got the sleeping bag over me. I'm possibly napping a little bit. And and I look up, these pieces just start popping. Boo, 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 boo. Like, dang, how many of them things are going to come out of there? And I swear, Peter's screaming for so long. He goes, the fucker, dude, double screamer fall. It was rad. It was rad. I don't know.
I think we developed that rating system, right? Like, a good fall is a screamer,
just
right?
A screamer.
You just screamer.
But a long one.
That's a double or even a triple screamer.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got to take a breath in the middle of your scream and you're still falling.
Yeah, if you didn't have to take a breath, like, come on, dude. You're just climbing at the gym.
That's just it. Yeah.
Right? I don't know. 70-footer, maybe 100. How do I know? I was underneath, all right? My depth perception's off a little bit.
I think climbing stories are like fish stories, man. Like they might get a little bigger as time,
What'd your dad told me one time, you never take a picture of the fish because then it doesn't get any bigger. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Peter takes the biggest whipper I've ever seen in my entire life. And he just gets back to the wall and goes, fuck! Now I gotta climb that shit again.
You do.
And he just Batmans up and he just keeps on going.
Gets back to work, man.
Just keeps going. Doesn't pause, doesn't mind. It was awesome. And then my pitch was the last one. And I remember it just being rad. Like, so the route's called Space Shot because you're kind of climbing next to this overhang. Just this huge overhang that keeps getting sticking further and further out, you know, like we've been climbing next to this thing for about 1,000 feet or something. And now we got to traverse over and climb out. So we never actually go into the overhang. We like climb up the side of it, and then you traverse, and you're right above the overhang. And there's this crack that's like kind of comes straight out of the middle of the thing. And so you have to like, you're on, you know, you're going for it. And then you step around this like block. You make like 1, 5, 6, like easy climbing move. Boom. You hit it. You look down, and your feet, you're 1,400 feet off the ground all of a sudden. Like,
I mean, Zion's big too, man.
I don't know. People, you know, when in the movies, when they're trying to like show the fear of heights thing, and like somebody's on an edge, and then like it zooms in and zooms out. That's what it felt like. It was unreal.
It's just your first experience with just like dramatic exposure.
Just dramatic exposure. It was so wild. If you are the second on that pitch and you got a giant set of cojones, instead of doing the traverse, you can just jump.
Just let it ride.
Swing out into space and then jug the line. I think that would be rad.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to go back and do that
next time, you know?
Or so even in kind of this framework of friendship, mental health, you know, because risk-taking behavior, right? Like high-risk behavior was a component of this, you know, maybe our trajectory and our journey. And so I want to have you tell one other story, which is your skydiving story, which is a story that it's just like, you kind of don't want to tell this story at Thanksgiving, right? Like
this is
like people just get really uncomfortable when you tell this story.
So one of my things, maybe it's a mental health deal, I don't know. I really love having conversations with people, and I love it when they kind of squint their face and they do this thing where they just look at you like, are you fucking nuts? You know, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? And I have a bunch of stories, but this one is normally like if I just want to get to the point, you know. This one goes well.
This is no foreplay, man. If you just hop in with this story, like the room will instantaneously just
this one's a great one. Spoiler alert, I didn't die.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we're skydiving, right? Oh man, but you know, I didn't want to just go skydiving. Like I got to learn to get my skydiving license because I want to do base jumping because all the cool cats are doing it, right? Like Dean Potter's the man, you know. Fucking 100%. Superman, like I want to do all the things. Oh man, you remember that movie? What was it, First Ascent or The Sharp End?
Yeah.
Where they had that masked figure jumping off of the nose because he's wearing no rope. He's like climbing. I think he was climbing Golden Gate or something, and he just lets go and freaking falls and has to open his parachute. Dude, so cool.
Yeah, it is.
But
we sort of worshipped those people. I mean, in a very real sense, right? Like like it was the embodiment of the world that we were attempting to achieve. Yeah, for sure.
And if I tried hard enough, it was possible that I could like hang out with them.
Yeah.
You know, never gonna be them, but I could probably like go to a party with one of these guys. How cool would that be? Yeah. So I want to learn to base jump. So you got to get 100 skydives. So I'm going to get my skydiving license, So this is my 8th jump. We're jumping out of a little Cessna 182. If you're unfamiliar, this is one of those planes there's a smaller plane. It's got the wings on the top, and then there's those little struts come up from the wheels, right? And you like climb in through the door. You can fit like 4 people in one of these things. Yeah, so this is my 8th jump. I'm jumping with my instructor, and this on this particular jump, we're jumping at the same time. We're not attached to each other. He's not holding on to me or anything. We're just both jumping at the same time. And then essentially what I'm supposed to do is demonstrate control in flight by flying flat, doing like a left turn, stopping, doing a right turn, stopping. And then I think that was the jump, right? And then you open your parachute. You just got to like demonstrate that when you're flying, You're not just a tumbly mess, because that's how the parachute gets all tangled up, and then people die because they're tumbling and whatever. That's not good. All right, so we jump. So we start climbing out of the freaking plane, and he's holding on to the strut, and I'm standing on the pedestal that's above the wheel, because the wheels don't like go into the plane or anything, a little tiny plane. And I'm looking at him, we're flying. Oh, God, we're ready. We're making all these, looking at each other in the eye and nodding and stuff, doing all this. 1, 2, 3. And I jump, and I did not present to the wind. So there's certain ways that you have to jump when you're exiting the plane. And the thing that was really hard for me to come to grips with is that the air pressure or the wind is more powerful than the gravity at first. So you have to present forward the direction the plane is going. You don't present to the ground. And one of the things that can happen if you present to the ground when you jump is that the wind coming from the front could then flip you very violently. And if you're close to the plane,
which you were,
which I was,
yeah.
Basically,
you're talking about this in like the third person, but
yeah. So then I jump, and I present to the ground. I get caught by the air, and my face gets smashed at 120 miles an hour into the wheel of the plane, and I get knocked out.
Just unconscious, yeah.
Which
in free fall.
Which isn't really my problem at the time, right? Because I'm unconscious. It's like being dumb. It's not really your problem. And so then, like, at some point, I remember kind of waking up and looking around, and I'm like,
it's like discovering
this
you're
is
in free fall.
What's happening here? I'm like, ooh, plain ground. Wait, oh shit, I'm in free fall right now. Like, oh man, I gotta, whoa, I should focus up, I think. This seems not good. Oh, okay, what do we got going here? You got this giant, it's like a wristwatch, but it's like way bigger, and it sits where a wristwatch is, and it's just this like thing that tells you how high you are, essentially. It uses pressure. Like, it can't mess up, right? It's not electronic. It's not going to accidentally break on you. It's just got like a big, I can't remember exactly how it did it, but essentially it's telling you what altitude you're at, right? Because we were jumping at 10, and your reserve parachute will fire no matter what at 1,500 feet. So the goal is to be opening
prior to that point.
The actual parachute. So I'm looking at my wrist. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And I see the numbers on it. I'm like, 6,000, 60, 55, 5,000. Like, oh, fuck. I'm halfway through my jump. I got to focus up here. I remember just thinking, okay, all right, flight position. And then I'm looking around and my arms aren't moving. Like, oh, all right, let's break it down. Let's go a little smaller here. And so I look at my pinky. I'm like, all right, move the pinky.
Yeah, crazy.
And I've moved my pinky, and essentially as soon as I was able to move my pinky, I could move my fingers, and then all of a sudden I could flap my arm.
Regain control of your body.
Yeah, and then I had to kind of wiggle, and then all of a sudden I can wiggle. All right, I got it now. And then I go into flight position, which stops me from tumbling violently. And I look over, and my instructor is flying like relatively close to me. And as soon as I stop flipping, he starts coming straight at me because he's going to try and help, which he can't if I'm flipping and going crazy. And I just wave him off. I'm like, no, I'm opening the parachute now. This is craziness. And so I opened my parachute, and I remember I felt all wet on my face, and I'm wearing a maroon jumpsuit, and I just wiped my forearm on my chin, and the whole arm of this maroon jumpsuit was bright fucking red.
Soaked in blood.
Like, I am bleeding so much. And I'm like, oh, this isn't great. Yeah, so that was unfortunately my last jump. I haven't gone back.
Yeah.
Kind of regret that.
So you learned some lessons, but not many, because I don't think that was the end of, high risk behavior.
Oh, no.
You just shifted it somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Symptom substitution, I think is what you
we
call
just
that.
keep on, kept it on. And I wasn't aware at the time what trauma was. Mm-hmm. So essentially, I stopped doing the sport to avoid the trauma of the sport. Mm-hmm. And like any good, 22-year-old, I took my trauma and I stuffed it down real low and, put a cap on it. And there it sat, right? Mm-hmm. Then we moved on. And
kept climbing. And
oh, yeah.
And so, all right, so now for the part that I was somewhat anxious about when I proposed the idea of having this conversation here.
Sure.
But at some point in this story, I entered the picture, and so
yeah.
So feel free to describe. I don't know how that changed. I suppose
I should probably be careful about what I say here. I feel like from your podcast and stuff that people expect you to have some sort of like
some dignity, I was right.
Yeah,
I'm a respected professional in my community.
When I met you at the climbing gym, you were a prestigious gentleman with a great haircut, who smelled fantastic. I remember
all those things, man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I remember looking at you and just thinking, holy crap, this guy is so talented. And just, he seems young and like new to and enthusiastic about the sport, but he's got so much potential. Just a fantastic human being.
So that was like a human train wreck, I think.
Yeah.
It maybe had some potential.
I think you were at this point you were like unwilling to be suicidal, but definitely like willing to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I like how you said that. That's an intriguing distinction, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're.
And I was just kind of like, I had a bunch of ideas and I didn't have a whole lot of people like willing to follow me. And so I'd be like, hey, Matt, you want to do this crazy thing? And Matt would be like, let's do it, dude.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Uh-huh.
It sounds rad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And still, I mean, at least on my end, had this singular objective, right? Like, I mean, I think that's how it like manifested. Like, I was probably, struggling immensely with addiction and depression and all of those types of things. But it was like channeled into this, just like high risk taking, just like extreme form of living that was like a substitute for just like admitting, I don't know, man, like how bad things were. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I had a whole bunch of problems. And so it was just, it was like, that's what we were tapping into. And so, we connect and here's you and here's me. And also that community of people as well.
Oh, yeah.
And would also say too, like, that's how I entered into the sport of climbing. Like that was, but for me, climbing saved me, right? Because it actually gave me a productive, constructive outlet to, to instead of hurting other people and hurting myself, like I could channel it into something that was objectively at least interesting, at least engaging. Right. It was beautiful. I mean, I think climbing is beautiful.
And it's also like, I don't know, it's just as thrilling as like shoplifting.
Yeah.
Or any of those
sure,
things.
Man. Like,
it's like, this is
dopaminergic, right? Like it's a rush. It's exhilarating.
I would definitely have no idea how exciting it would be to like steal a car or something, but I could tell you, like climbing a big wall is cooler.
Cool, man.
Oh man, it's so rad. Yeah, like the thrill that I would get from skydiving, which a normal like flight is about 45 seconds, and then you got like 2 minutes under canopy before you hit the ground, and the plane takes 20 minutes to get up there, so it's like a 30-minute process, right? You're sitting on the plane, you're like, oh man, it's so scared. Then you get done, like, well, that happened. When you climb a big wall, you start out and your heart's just going. It's like, it's fucking going, man. It's full on. Also, like, you need to be cognitive here. Like, you're going to have to pay attention, you know? And, like, you might need to, like, have good ideas along the way. Also, this, like, red-lined, holy crap, is going to happen all day, and then you're going to need to fall asleep with this happening. And then when you wake up, you'll be like, where am I? Oh, shit. And then it just starts happening, you know, within 5 seconds again. It keeps going. That can wear on you after a while, you know? After a few days, it's like, fuck, like, I don't want, I just,
for sure, man.
Like, don't want this thrill, this, like, exciting, just whatever. Like, this was awesome, but, like, 72 hours
you
of this
can't
is kind of wearing
you can't, like,
me out.
stay in that state of, like, hypervigilance and, like, you know, just hyper-awareness and, like, adrenaline.
Yeah.
You know, like, you run out of that at some point in time.
And then you're just like...
But you're still in it, right?
Yeah. Then you just look around like, oh, shit.
You're still pasted on the side, like the side of
like,
a massive cliff.
Where am I?
Yep.
You know? It's rad. It's just cool, you know? And one thing that I love about big walling is it is self-limiting. Like, 80% of the people who try the nose fail just because it's hard. And that's what's so cool about it. Well, like, I bet 80% of the people who want to climb the nose never even try because they're like, that's probably hard. Well, it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, also there's such a multitude of skill sets that you've got to acquire. And so two things, like one to just sort of punctuate like our description of, you know, when we met, how we approached climbing. You know, I would like to say that, you know, addiction and climbing, you know, like once I discovered climbing, that somehow was a substitute or like a panacea, and I could just channel all of those urges in, but that was not the case.
Sure.
It was just an and plus kind of situation. And so I climbed as hard as I drank and as hard as I did every other thing. And I mean, that was that was our culture, right?
And like, if you like you can't not climb this 10D off with because you're hungover.
No.
Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, well, if you're hungover, just like drink a beer or something. Like, come on, dude. Like, we got stuff to do here, you know? Man, good times. Yeah. Good times.
I mean, it was such a relentless thing, man. Like, there was such a hunger and like a ferocity in it, right? I mean, you know, because like, I mean, this is like Horseshoe Canyon and all of these like these road trips where we would drive through the middle of the night and then, you know, sleep a couple hours and wake up the next day and then just climb for like 14 hours straight. You can't just
climb a big wall. I mean, we would go once or twice a month on weekend trips to our local crag, which is a 7.5 hour drive away. We'd do that all the friggin' time.
Well, and I mean, like, you know, even though there was like a recklessness about this kind of approach, there was also like we were fairly strategic as well. Like,
we were.
I mean, from my singular moment of discovery, you know, with Matt, you know, seeing what Alex Honnold was capable of, and from when you were 8 years old, like we wanted that.
Yeah.
And so
like, I want to climb the freaking nose, man.
Yeah. And so very intentionally, I mean, there's the book, The Road to the Nose, and we very intentionally mapped out a progression to enable us to do something that was probably, you know, out of our, like above us in some respects.
And that's one of the beautiful things that I've found about life is like, if you don't think you can do something, there's probably a book that'll explain exactly how to fucking do it. And like, all you have to do is pick that book up and actually fucking read it. Like, you can't just like buy it and set it on your end table, you know, and then donate it to Goodwill. You got to actually read the thing. But once you do, like, bang, you know it all. And then all of a sudden, like, holy shit, I can do this. It's pretty rad.
So long as you apply that knowledge in an extended, deliberate, and intentional fashion over a fairly long period of time. Yeah. You know, because in the Road to the Nose, there's, you know, like 6 or 7 other big walls that it's recommended that you climb in preparation for the nose. Yeah. And we did all of them.
We did all of them. And most people are like, meh, I don't need to.
Or I'm just going to go climb the nose.
I'm just going to go climb the nose. And then they don't.
And then they're in the 80% that don't make it to the top.
Because it's hard. And like, you know, you look at the road to the nose and it's like, all right, you got to climb these 6 or whatever. And it's because each one of these smaller big walls has a random feature on it that's going to be really difficult. Like one might have a big lower out. One might have like a
pendulum.
really, big pendulum. Or one's going to have, you know, like the core roof, just a really steep roof line. And turns out like it's harder to second overhanging aid than it is to climb overhanging aid. And holy crap, I didn't realize in big wall climbing, like the second has to be competent and also know what the hell they're doing. You know, now you got the Rocky Talkies, so you can talk to each other. But back then, like, you climb around a corner and like
partner just disappeared,
man. Your partner disappeared. We'd tug on the rope. It'd be like you got 3 separate commands because you got 1, 2, or 3 tugs, and like you got to tug in a certain way, and that's how you know, on belay.
Well, I love that phenomenon, right? Like you're in your harness and you're attached to the wall, and like, you know, you're just belaying, right?
Yeah.
And your partner disappears, and they're like having a near-death experience on the other side of whatever that corner is. Yeah. And for you, it's just like, I'm just feeding a little line, you know, like, okay.
Like not even very often.
Like I'm bored out of my mind, and somewhere out there in like the ether and outer space, like you are literally like just on the verge of, you know, like zippering at a pitch or like, you know, just.
And you don't know what's around that corner. And then when it's your time, like the rope gets tugged on twice. And that means like, if you start climbing now, you're not going to die. And you have to somehow convince yourself that the rope actually moved like in the deliberate 2-tug way, and not just like your buddy got stuck on something and was like still climbing. At which point, if you started climbing, like that would really hose this whole system.
The whole system.
Like,
all right, so let's fast forward. I mean, like we're skipping past a variety of adventures and you know,
so
just
many of them,
absurd moments in time, and you know, that was like Devil's Tower, and you know, I mean, all of these adventures that we went on. Yeah,
and then from the mental health aspect, I didn't realize this while we were doing this, but turns out that when you're climbing and you're like a part of rescues and you like see bad stuff happen to other people, like I was saying earlier, you start to think about it a little bit. Some might call it trauma. And, you know, you're trying to accomplish a goal. So obviously the best solution is to just, you know, go ahead and, you know, you got that nice jar down in the pit of your stomach. Just take the lid off, stuff her in there. That jar will get bigger. Don't worry. You just stuff it all of it in there. And, just keep on.
And that was an unfolding throughout this process, right? Where we were, you know, and I want to talk about that. That's kind of one of the directions that I wanted to take this conversation. But let's go to Half Dome first, but then, because I want to recount that, because you and I both encountered, you especially encountered just an unusual number of tragedies that intersected with our climbing journey. And that was the modus operandi, right? Like that's how we navigated forward. Like we just chose to selectively ignore, you know, the data points that were probably like telling us that we should stop, that you should not continue on this trajectory. And, you know, but like that was not like for both you and I think it was very singular. Like, no, I'm going to go do that. Yeah, like hell or high water. Like I'm not going to be detoured. And so that information that was, you know, incommensurate with this singular objective in our friendship, and like just like, because that's what was like making my world make sense, right? Like, because outside of this thing that I had to look forward to, that I crafted my world around, this maddening desire, like things weren't, I don't know, man, like I wasn't in good shape.
Life's weird out there.
Yeah, right? You know? And so like I was able to, it's like organize my world around this. And so you can't give it up, right?
If you just climb, like, then that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just keep climbing.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome. Oh man.
And so somehow,
the good old days.
Right? It was,
oh man.
It was like a little easier not to have to think about consequences. And
it was like funny to see if you could try and live off of $1 a day. Mm-hmm. You know, like I feel like people throw dollars away now. I don't know. The world got so weird. Shit, the world was weird back then. But if you just went climbing, then all you had to do was go climbing.
Climbing, man.
And fuck, when you got up on a big wall, the rest of the world literally disappeared. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't like the world was melting away. No, the world was fucking gone. You are in a sea of granite, and the only thing
was you and your best friend in a rope.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, and the materials that you brought with you, and a problem that you've got to solve, and it just strips everything else out of the equation.
Nothing else important here, and you have a limited amount of time, and the clock started, and now you got to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, you're running out of food, you're running out of water, you're running out of energy, like you're getting actively thrashed, you know, like and you have to go up, and then, you know, and then you pass a certain point in time where it's more difficult to go down than it is to go up, and it's sort of like a point of no return, and like all of these things are factored into, I don't know, this obsession, right?
Yeah, and I used to think that the goal was to like just when shit really hits the fan, like when stuff really goes wrong, then this like thing would switch in my brain, like time slows down and everything just like makes sense and works. This like flow state, or this just feeling of, it was amazing, like everything just works. But the problem was that it takes a little bit longer or a little bit more to reach that state every time. Like, when I was 12, like I could get there sport climbing. It was awesome. But then eventually, like, I need a multi-day wall to like get up there, and then I need the problem to be more grandiose than just climbing another wall. And then it's like, you know, I mean, I always wanted to climb Half Dome. And when we decided on it in 14, I was like, dude, this is actually going to happen, right? We're going to climb Half Dome right after I turned 28, 20 years after I said, I'm doing this. And
we'd done our homework, man.
We'd done it.
Yeah. Like we were prepared. We had the knowledge base, the skill set to go up and tackle Half Dome as it was at that moment in time.
We sure did. We were going to try hard, and it was possible we were going to fail, but we were going to just give it the old college try. Just give her a rip, Climb Northwest regular. Like, how cool would that be? Oh, man. So we made that. Like, I mean, we lived in Iowa. Like, you got to plan that shit out a long way in advance. Like, this is going to take, it's like a 2-week long
20-hour road trip.
We're like,
well, I think we still needed to climb Washington Column too. Like, right, in preparation for.
Probably.
No, for sure, right?
Probably still needed to climb more.
Well, yeah, that's right. I mean, that's exactly what it was. Like, that was like our itinerary, right? So we had like 20 hours of driving. I think you picked me up in Cheyenne. Then we drove the rest of the way. And then I think that we just started climbing Washington Column. Like, we drove through the night, maybe slept in the car for a few hours, woke up the next day, and then climbed Washington Column.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did. So then you get into the whole, finesse of actually trying to like live in Yosemite and whatnot. And like, sure, you got money. You could probably figure it out, right?
Well, we didn't have any money.
Everything's easier if you got a bunch of money. Oh, man. How cool would that be?
So we didn't have anywhere to sleep. So that's why we climbed Washington Column, because we had nowhere to stay.
But Dinner Ledge is awesome. And it's only like 2 or 3 easy pitches. There's like one little section of some like hard 10. You can pull on some gear to get through. And then you're at like this.
The nicest camp spot in Yosemite, right?
Yeah. and then no permits or nothing. You just do it. Yeah, so you just run in and go start climbing, right? Because you don't need a permit on the wall. You got a portal edge. Just go for it.
Yeah, and I'm sure within, we got up there, right, like by midday and just like pounded whiskey and
oh yeah,
yeah, I mean, right?
Just get wasted. Like, why not? Oh, one of my favorite rest time activities was just getting drunk and talking shit to other rock climbers. Oh, that was the best. Man.
Which you perfected. All right, but so staying on the Half Dome though, right?
Yeah,
so we had done our prep work. We
do all these things.
Yeah, had the whole thing planned out, and then something happened.
Oh, well.
That threw a wrench in our system.
Well, before that, we were the spring break, right? We're going to go fall in Yosemite. So we got our big spring trip. We're going to go to Red Rocks. We're going to climb epinephrine. It's going to be epic. And right before that, I went on a random family trip, spring break with my kid. And I got bit by a couple ticks and I got Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Which, I've had multiple flavors of Lyme disease. I think Rocky Mountain hurt the most.
That's the worst one, huh?
It was tough. But our trip was there. I was still taking antibiotics coming back from not being able to walk from Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And we're going to go climb epinephrine, which essentially just meant that I kind of showed up and was like a shitty, unstoked partner, which happens sometimes. It's possible I had some mental health issues throughout this whole thing.
Oh, I know.
And
that we were again masking.
Yeah.
But essentially though, the thing that happened was that half of Half Dome fell off.
Yeah. So right after our trip, fucking A. Yeah, it did, huh?
So we were slated to do this thing that both you and I dreamed of, and
3 months beforehand,
football field of rock
falls off the side of this thing, off of Northwest Regular, right? A big old chunk of rock falls off the side of this mountain, and the section is out of the middle of the most famous route on the freaking wall. That's a big wall. A football field of rock could fall off pretty much anywhere, and most people wouldn't even freaking notice. And they didn't notice that a chunk had fallen off. Nobody saw it or heard it or noticed until a set of climbers were up there who had done this route multiple times before. And they get to, the top of pitch 9 or something, or the middle of pitch 9, and they're like, what the fuck? This is different. So I'm reading one of their trip reports about it. They're like, I think the rock has fallen off here. And then they got to bail, and they come down and they report it to the Rangers. The Rangers do some research. Oh shit, yeah, there's a big old rock scar. Oh look, we can see that. Oh dang, da 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 da. And then it's all national news. Big old chunk falls off a Half Dome. Yosemite National Park has rocks falling everywhere. Everybody's going to die. Da 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 da.
Yeah, and then we show up, right?
Yeah. Well, first, I remember you calling me. Hey, man.
We got a problem.
Did you see this? I was yeah, I saw this. What are we going to do? Dude, we're going climbing in 3 months. It's Half Dome. It's a trade route. Somebody's going to put it back together. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And, then we just keep reading trip reports.
3 months go by, right?
Yeah, and 5 separate parties went up there and tried it. And some different people put up, extra sets of bolts trying to skip certain sections and do pendulums to get places and da-da-da-da.
And these were elite climbers, right?
Yeah.
Which and maybe we can get to that kind of that aspect of this conversation of whether or not we're actually good climbers or not.
Oh, man.
Which is an open-ended question.
I would argue that good is relative.
Yeah, I think so.
We fucking are.
Well, but there are some objective facets of climbing that people that were going up there are trying to piece this thing back together.
Yeah,
they were objectively better at
people
than
that
we are.
if you were a betting man, you know,
You wouldn't have picked us. Yeah.
it would, they'd obviously be able to, we were the wild card.
So 3 months go by, a sequence
Nobody's
of
done it.
hardened,
Yeah.
Yosemite Valley, they go up there.
Just cool people, better men than us that will go up there and try.
And the wall's
and
like
fail.
vibrating and stuff is
Oh,
continuously falling off of it.
Yeah, and that might have been bullshit. Like there was some stuff about it. Like, the guys were like, oh man, I don't know. Like I heard weird stuff. I think stuff might still be falling. Nobody should go up there.
Well, there was some dude too. I don't remember who the guy was, but it was like his project. Like he claimed it. Like he was, a camp for,
some guys were like, I'm going to do this. They're
and
like,
everybody's kind of like,
whatever.
waiting for him to go up there and like he's the man and like.
I guess if you knew, I don't know, if you hung out there, or if we had hung out there, maybe we would have known to not step on any toes or something. I don't know. But we were this perfect set of like skilled enough to maybe be able to pull it off, like dumb enough to fucking try.
Not know how out of our league we probably were, right?
We were just
perfect combination of like a moderate level of skill.
We could definitely do this. Oh man. Just fragrant, overconfident, like white 20-year-old dudes. Just,
from Iowa.
Yeah. Like, of course we can put the biggest, one of the coolest lines on the planet back together. What would it, I don't know. I think when we showed up, we were hoping somebody else would have done it.
Yeah, sure. Like we didn't have any objective of like putting up a first ascent or like piecing back half dome. Like we just wanted to climb the fucking thing.
I was supposed to climb this to be able to climb the nose,
right?
Like it's on my list. It's part of my homework, I got to climb this.
And we were like, hedging our bets a little bit. Like, well, maybe we'll just go up to pitch 9 and see what it looks like.
Just go check it out.
Yeah, right? Like,
see what's happening.
But then had to Jimmy rig together just like in absolute absurdity to get up to the base of it. Do you remember like what all we had to do to?
Yeah, because turns out like the really confidence inspiring approach. What do they call that? Death slabs.
Death slabs. Yeah, they were totally blasted out by the rockfall.
Yeah,
because there's all those ropes that are like strung through the death slabs.
There's normally a bunch of protection, and now instead there's a football field of rock has fallen down and like knocked a bunch of trees down. Yeah. Like it was an avalanche of rock
100%.
Just poured right down the approach to this thing. So we're going to go around the back, obviously.
Which is, where the route that your dad took you.
Yeah. We're going to go like that
20 years ago, right?
Right. And I'm on the way out there, stopped at Devil's Tower because got to see Frank, right? Got to go talk with somebody who knows what they're talking about and ask him some questions. Hey, you got any beta? Right? And he goes, oh, yeah, I got some beta for you. You can hire mules. And they'll take up to 100 pounds of stuff up to your little Yosemite. And it only costs like $50.
The mighty Frank Saunders. That's amazing.
What are you talking? He said, oh, yeah. That's how you get all your stuff up there. That's how you get around. I'm like, dang.
Because there was awareness that this would have to be a siege. Like what is normally a 2 to 3 day climb. Like there was no way that was going to be appropriate for, because like we knew we had to like probably 8 across this. Like once we got across it, there probably wasn't a way back.
Who knows what's up there?
Yeah. So siege style, like we.
You're going to go for it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, Royal did it the first time in 5 days, so I'm just reading everybody else's trip reports and it seems like they were running out of time. Like they're bringing stuff for 2-3 days. Like, well, Royal brought stuff for 5 days. We'll bring stuff for 5 days, give her a go.
Which is to break this down. A gallon of water, weighs 8 pounds and, each person needs at least a gallon per day.
Per day.
So, you start doing the math and adding food and, just all the metal that is trad climbing gear and the ropes. And, we were probably, I'm sure 150 pounds, 200 pounds or so, maybe 150.
I think, our goal was to make it so the bag didn't weigh more than either one of us by ourselves. So we could still haul it on a 1-to-1, right? Which was not an easy task. Like, getting it down to around 140, 150 pounds. But luckily, we were able to put 100 pounds of that stuff on a mule, which took
for the first like 7 of 10 miles to get to the base, right?
Yeah, it was so like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And then like, oh shit, this is still a long way to take all this crap.
Take our 200 pounds of stuff.
Just stuff. And yeah, so I remember before we even took off, like we're spending some time in the valley, and I'm like, dude, I'm not staying in Camp 4. I'm not talking to other rock climbers. This is not happening. And like, we made friends with the cafeteria people, and like ended up crashing on the floor of some like, you know, canvas yurt thing in just the, man, you remember that campground? It was all the people who work at Yosemite, like the people who make it work, they all have like, what do they call it? Employee housing. Like if you've ever been to a music festival, you just see like the craziest people. You're like, what do they do? You know, when they're not at a music festival, they do cafeteria at Yosemite. Yeah. And at night, there's still a music festival happening. And it's just a wild, wild time if you ever get the chance. So we like, remember I married the 2 lesbians. They had like, you know, they hung up a bunch of stuff. Somebody was going to get married because they figured out that I was an officiant. And they like made up a whole like fake wedding ceremony. And then the guy like had been drinking or something, I'm sure. And we had all been, right? And this dude finally like is actually standing up there. He's about to get married. And he's like, oh shit, I was joking. And he like runs off. And then everybody's like, oh shit, you know, we all probably like played into this joke a little bit too much, but like this kind of looks like a wedding venue and and somebody's like, well, anybody else want to? And these 2 chicks raise their hand. They're like, you do gay weddings? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Let's go.
I also remember that nobody had any conception of what rock climbing was. Like, they knew about Snake Dyke. Right?
Oh, yeah,
and we were like,
so
we were trying to like tell people that we were going to go climb.
Like, what do you mean you're going to be gone for 5 days? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go climb Half Dome. They're like, but that's a hike. I'm like, no, like the face. And it was, they could see the face, right? It wasn't like we're talking to somebody in Iowa.
No, it was right there.
Who's never, like, you're like from the front step of your cot. Like, you can see it. Like that, the face of it. That's what we're going to climb. And they're like, what do you know? Just hike up the back, man. But that was great. That was a great experience. And there was nobody telling us that we couldn't do it. It was just a bunch of people telling us.
Had we hung out in Camp 4, like all we would have heard is, you know.
Is like, well, yeah, a bunch of shit talking.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think that's something that I've learned doing construction is like a whole lot of people phrase it, you can't do that. But what they mean is I can't do that. So I don't really like hanging out with people who tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah, so not having those voices in your ear.
Yeah. So then we take off, right? Yeah, we got
our mules, we've got our 200 pounds of shit.
And we went through the frickin' like magic bushes to get to the base of this thing. You remember those? Like,
you like disappeared inside them.
Yeah, they're like so big. There's like tunnels under these like weird bushes, like freaking. What's that book? Alice in the Wonderland. You know, we come out the other side. Now we're standing at the bottom of this freaking thing, just looking up, like, oh shit, okay. Like, I've thought about doing this for a long time.
Right? There's that moment of realization that like all of a sudden you gotta like put your money where your mouth is, right? Like you've created a reality that now you have to act out. And it's like a surprise every single time.
I feel like we're gonna tell things about our performance on this trip, and people who know something about rock climbing are gonna be like, are you fucking kidding me? These dumbasses.
Well, prior to that, too, because managed to, like, at least personally, which I've almost done it on every single climb, torch myself out, like, just completely by prior to the climb actually starting. Because you and I could not haul all of our gear from where the mules dropped it off to the base through the magic bushes.
In one go.
One go. So we got 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
And then your objective was to stay and start setting up gear so we could actually start climbing. I had to like run back through the magic bushes, you know, around the face of Half Dome,
go get
another 70-pound load of gear. Yeah. And I remember coming back and like I was just like picking a tree, and like, come on, Matt, like you just have to make it to that tree.
Yeah.
And like I would like limp and fall my way to the
dude.
next tree, and then like throw myself against it, like panting and heaving and perspiring, and then pick another tree, and then you know, and that
just to get to the bottom.
I haven't even started climbing yet, right?
And you're just like wrecked. Like, oh man, you know why the nose is the most popular big wall in the world?
Yeah, because it doesn't have an approach.
Because it's
you don't have to do that.
Climbers are fucking lazy.
Yeah,
man.
totally.
Yeah, it's 15-minute walk. It's also really cool.
It's pretty good.
Really cool,
pretty
but it's just right there. It's right there. Half Dome is also cool.
It's a little more work to
work to get to the bottom. But you will be rewarded by less people on the route if that's what you're into.
Especially if half of it falls off.
Oh yeah, nobody was
right
there.
Before you
before
you climb. So
had it all to ourselves. It was fantastic.
Well, so I get back, and you know there was some fixed ropes, and then we started climbing, but we'd already like cooked the day at this point in time, right? Like it was already like the sun was setting, and
like before we started climbing. Like
and we also were somewhat like unnerved by the idea that somebody else was going to come up and attempt to do this, like you know,
go in front of us or something.
Yeah, like at this point in time, we'd like decided we were going to like put this thing
like
back
we're
together.
Doing it.
Yeah, like we're going to do
nobody
this
else is doing it.
We're going to go
do
take this thing on.
Jeez.
And so we like just decided to start climbing at 7 p.m. or something
about
like
it.
that.
You know what I mean? Like just go for it.
And so it got up to what, pitch 4?
And
it was pitch black, and we're just totally
dark,
fucking wrecked.
And it's not a good spot for a ledge. And we're hauling Half Dome, which is something that nobody recommends you do.
No.
It's classic for like, no, dude, you got to wear backpacks and just climb. Like 2 people, 2 backpacks. It sucks. Do it. We couldn't do that.
No.
So yeah, we're even pulling a portaledge, right? I mean, little A5 ledge, you know. I think one of those like inflatable, what is it, D7 inflatable, like you can't puncture them, super awesome, like really light ones. Those would have been perfect for this, you know.
Did not have that.
We did not have that. D7 send us some free stuff. But yeah, so we're in like an old A5 ledge, right? Like we're doing it hard man style, like fucking 40-year-old ledge because it's like made it out of tiny aluminum. And
borrowed
like,
it from Pete, I think.
Yeah, borrowed it from Pete. Yeah, who won it in a poker game in Camp 4. Like, you know, it's like got a lot of stories with this old, you know, it just stinks like old nylon that's been in somebody's basement in Iowa forever. Oh, it's so great. So, yeah, we get up to the top there and you see people in a portaledge in pictures, and you always see these like pristine, perfect, like straight up and down walls, and there's just this, you know, there's nothing below them, and they're hanging this crazy looking thing off. It's like, wow, that looks so cool. Well, they don't work very well if the rock is anything less than vertical.
Vertical, yeah, it's got to be straight up and down.
And most rock, especially at the bottom of Half Dome, is not vertical. It's less than, which creates like this weird little ramp, and then the straps don't quite work right. And it's a little, you know, it'll kind of work maybe if we could. Dude, how many times did we flip that thing that night?
Well, so I mean, it was like worst case scenario because it was worse than that, and we just couldn't go any farther. Like we were just like we were looking at it. We knew that this was like just a terrible place to try to. Yeah. But like we were just like, it was either that or like sleep in our harnesses. And I think it was like a 90-degree wedge that we tried to like
weird dihedral thing.
And so we managed to get the thing up, and like if we stayed perfectly still, like just like if we didn't breathe, then the thing would
stay.
We would stay
right where you wanted it to.
However, if either of us moved just an inch, just
no
a centimeter,
breathing, you know, no like
if you like snored too loudly,
dude, if your nose itches, that's your problem. You know, like that is your problem. Don't be doing that now.
And so that was that night, and probably 5 to 6 times where both of us would nod off and
flipped.
It would just
oh man, yeah.
And but it was like a slow motion flip. Like it wasn't like it would like, but like a fairly fast. Like you know what I mean. But it
would just kind of like slide up the wall and be like.
And you wake up and just start. I mean, I was on the outside too, so it's like clawing my way back across you.
To grab. grab anything you can, hold on to your sleeping bag, like, what the? And then we had to, we couldn't even hang it off of a real anchor because we were like in a dihedral thing. So we had to, like, the only thing available was this like single piton. So we had it hanging off of a single piton and like backed up to an anchor, and it just kept flipping. And
it's just darkness. Like you're just encompassed by like just a dome of darkness. So you're falling like in slow motion into a black
into nothing
pit of non-existence.
It might only be 20 feet off the ground for all you know. You know how hard, it's fine. You'd be all right. For the record, I think it was 400 or 500 feet off the ground, which probably
is the actuality of where we were at that moment in time.
Yeah, 400 or 500 feet to the like platform that was like 2,000 feet above the valley floor. Yeah.
So this is night one. This is how this climb is going so far.
Yeah.
we're just killing this thing, man. Like this is expert level. Like just. Like you want to know how the pros do it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is how they do it.
If people are watching us with a telescope after night one, like our odds have changed. You know?
If anybody was betting on us to be successful,
like, it's not.
But the next day goes pretty well, right? Like
keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
And we had a great day climbing that next day.
It was so fun.
We got it was like sunny and warm and that whole section was there still. Yeah. And we got
just to like interject and kind of coming back to that other idea of encountering tragedy along the way, but like it was on day 2. It was one of the moments to sort of relive in my imagination because I was climbing up to, maybe it was like the top of pitch 8 or something like that, and it was pretty slabby. So it was like class 4 or something like that.
Doing that traversy thing.
Yeah. And was, feeling very comfortable, very confident, was moving very quickly, and probably had run out 40 plus feet, right? So
sure.
My last piece of gear.
Like one does.
Yeah, you have to, right? Like, I mean, that's a component of this form of climbing, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have to move quickly because you're up against a clock. And so 40 feet, and I got, I could see the anchors, and there was a large ledge, and I pulled over the top of the ledge and then reached for a hold, and it busted, right? Like the hold broke, and my whole body like pendulumed across, and was able to like
you just barn door out. Yeah, just totally.
Space. Yep. And but it was like I just would have bounced down the rock for maybe 100 feet or something like that.
No big deal. You're still attached to the rope.
Yeah, I mean, like might have. It was like I might have died, like very, very, or broken a lot of my bones or broken my neck or something like that.
Probably not, though.
But it was just like, I mean, that was the mindset, right? Is like, you just sort of like, oh, that happened.
That happened.
And then got back on the wall and then kept going.
Yeah, just keep climbing.
Yeah, and, then got on the anchor, hauled up the, what was now probably 170 pounds because we drank some water.
Sure.
And then you came up and, we kept going, and then that got us somewhere close to the pitch 9, I think, where we stayed the next night.
We were at the bottom of pitch 9, and we camped out, and dude, you remember the pizza?
I do remember the pizza.
Dude, the pizza was the
equally
worst.
Traumatic. Yeah,
oh my jeez. So before this, I'd gone in and gotten a bunch of mountain houses or whatever they were called at the time,
Dehydrated meals.
Dehydrated backpacker meals. Which you pour water into a bag, it heats it up, and then you got food, right?
Yep.
That's how these work. You heat up some water, you pour it in the bag, and then you got some food afterwards. Well, on this day, our meal was pizza. And I was really stoked to find out how me pouring water into a bag
could result in
pizza. This is going to be awesome. We're going to figure it out. So we bust her open, and turns out all you need is a fire, and they recommend a cast iron Dutch oven and some good hot coals, and you're going to need a bowl to like mix the flour in, and then they got like some cheese and some sauce, and and if Martha Stewart is available, she would be helpful. And we got a jet boil. Just a jet boil.
Some water. Yeah.
Just in some water. Yeah.
Not like a lot of water, but
no. So. We got a very limited amount, like it's allotted. We got like 2 cups of water, like for this specific meal. What are we gonna do? Well, all the calories were in the dough, which was a powder. And so first we hydrated the dough. Or no, first we tried to eat the dough dry. Didn't work. And then we tried to hydrate the dough. And it doesn't turn into like dough. It kind of, maybe we put too much water in or something. It's like just not great. And so
it was just a mush. Like it was a pizza mush.
It was just this weird
mush.
Like
a bad pizza mush.
It wasn't good. And then
not even like DiGiorno level. Like one of those dollar frozen pizzas. And then if you like blenderized one of those.
Yeah.
That was what you would come up with.
At some point I was like, well, this is horrible to eat. So
but like maybe
if we put the pasta sauce and the cheese in here, like it'll be slightly better. There'll be some flavor. Oh, that was not a good decision. It made it worse, like way worse. And now it's like brown for some reason.
Dude, I remember it was like just like diarrhea. Like it was the
just
concentration.
Kind of brown with like a little bit of green for some reason. Like, why does it look like this now? Oh, and there's like just 800 calories of just the grossest looking crap in this bag. It's like
in a place where you cannot afford to
need these
abandon calories. Yeah,
we need them. And so we both ate until we almost vomited. Yeah.
I mean, it was like it became apparent that we were going to lose more calories by vomiting
than this what was going to be consuming. Helpful for us.
So I think we like abandoned ship halfway through.
Going to bed with no dinner. Which kind of sucked, but
and then woke up the next day and we were at the gauntlet, man.
It's time to go. Yeah, we're like at the bottom.
This is I mean, and truly like nothing that you and I would say your Devil's Tower, First Ascent would qualify as something that exceeds the range of like but like nothing else that we've done in our climbing careers.
Not at that point
is exceptional. Like even climbing the nose, like quite a few people have climbed the nose.
Sure.
It's like. You don't make headlines. You're not in the newspaper for
all that stuff. Was after this,
yeah,
though.
For sure. So we've done nothing noteworthy,
nothing notable,
other than like sleep on a collapsing portal edge and hire some donkeys, man.
Yeah, like I don't know, climbed Moonlight in like
4 days,
south face of Washington, and I climbed it and. They recommend that you're able to do it in 1 day, and we did it in like 3. We're like, good enough. But we were drinking, so like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. So do you remember the shit though, Alex? Prior to our departure, before we talk about this singular moment of
is that polite for this kind of?
I think we're there, man.
Oh man. Yeah, so the number one question, I've done a few like talks about some of the climbing I've done and whatnot, and everybody, how do you poop? So everybody's got that one.
Yeah, everyone wants to know that.
I guess I'll just throw it out there if you guys are wondering, how do you
You're
poop
about to find
on
out.
The side of the wall? Well, you use a wag bag, same deal as when you're backpacking. You're supposed to care about the environment. You use a wag bag and don't just shit random places.
Unbelievably bad form to like throw it or to any of those types of things, especially in Yosemite where people are.
Back in the day, they used to shit in a paper bag and you chuck it, and it just makes so much sense because then like the bag's gonna biodegrade.
Yep. You're just fertilizing the forest below you.
But that was when like a couple guys were doing this sometimes, and then. One ranger gets hit with one bag of shit one time. It just ruins it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude, one time. Jeez. So then you're not supposed to throw your poop. So you got to go in a bag.
Wag bag, yeah.
Yeah, you got this bag. It's a big old bag. It's got some powder in the bottom.
That's great.
Makes it not smell so bad. You got some toilet
moist
paper.
Towelettes
Moist
as well.
towelette. Yeah. You can wipe up afterwards. And then you put it. So then you go in this bag, and then it's got like another Ziploc bag. You kind of roll it up, stick it in the extra Ziploc bag, right? And then it's closed up or whatever. And then you got this jar thing hanging from the bottom.
Jar.
Oh, man.
This is all coming back to me. Like.
And the night before you had gone, and we went to put it in the jar that we had brought up that was supposed to hang from the bottom of the portal edge, and you frickin' dropped it. trying to connect it back to the damn bag.
Yeah, because we like taped on a handle so we could like keep it on the outside of the haul bag or something. And somehow I dropped the peanut butter jar.
It got you got to
catapulted down.
Clip all your stuff. If it can fall, it will fall. So then we had to like make a new one, and we made it out of Simply orange juice bottle. Then because the idea is like when you're backpacking, you can just put this bag that's supposed to not smell just in your backpack, right? But not next to like knives or anything. You can't really do that. Like I can't stuff this in the bottom of the haul bag, and then just like beat the crap out of it with a bunch of freaking metal gear. Yeah,
you'll explode your turd inside your haul bag. Like that will happen. And you don't want that to happen.
You don't want to do that. So it's my turn. After you've dropped.
Well, we like as somewhat like uninitiated client. Like we were kind of making all this stuff up as we went, and so one of our strategic decisions was to like eat a lot of cheese.
Yeah. We were gonna bring a bunch of cheese.
Like to deliberately constipate ourselves so that we would not.
So we didn't have to
do this. Yeah. And so when people ask the question of how do you shit, on the side of a wall, the answer is that you do it right next to your friend.
Yeah.
Like in a bag. Hanging off of the side of a cliff. You're
like tied together. Like if you don't want to look each other in the eye, you're going to have to turn your head, So then I'm going in this bag, just hanging in a harness.
And I don't know.
It was disturbing.
Whatever you consumed in the days leading up to
it was not.
I mean, we're like in open air too, man. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a wall, and then everything else is just the great outdoors.
We're outside.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And somehow you created something with your body that
it was making me want to vomit.
We were both like.
And it was definitely making you want to vomit, but like it was coming out of my body, and it still made me want to vomit. Like, oh. Dude.
And then I was. Driving, which then you were, like it was like a feedback loop.
Oh god! And then I'm just like, this is not pleasant. People though, this is just like Grammy-winning podcast stuff right here. Next up, the best poop scene in podcasting.
Yeah. Do they give that award?
Probably. Maybe, yeah. I don't know if they do it at the Grammys though. Probably like I don't watch TV. I don't know.
I mean, I can still smell that. Like,
it was horrible.
Yeah, like it still lingers in my nostrils.
So I would say,
like, I'm almost like I kind of want to vomit right now. Like, even as we're talking about that, I'm having a little bit of a
So I would recommend
reflux kind of thing.
Like not trying to deliberately constipate yourself for multiple days just to try to not poop.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So that was how we started the day.
Yeah.
And then it's time to go.
Well, so then we're looking directly at the section of rock that is fallen off,
which is missing.
Like, it's like 300 feet or something like that across. Yeah. Like, so it's just blank, and it's blank because so much of that rock face had, just sheared off.
Yeah, and it's a different color than all the rest of the rock.
It's white.
It looks very ominous. And there's like
a couple of bolts that the Bivy brothers had put up before they bailed because I think the reason they bailed too is they just didn't have enough stuff. Like
or time or something. That was I think that was what.
Why we.
I mean, it takes a lot of time to put bolts in, and I think you can't like put them in with a gun up there. You got to hand drill them. It takes forever. Like, that's just one of the things is that it takes time to do all this shit. So we had allotted an entire day for this one pitch, and
1.5, I think, by the time we had.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe it's 1 now. I don't know.
Yeah. Like one full pitch was missing, and then I think half of the previous one, whatever. And we're gonna try to put this thing together. And how far do you want me to go down that rabbit hole?
Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Oh man. So
we had a tacit agreement that
we make a very important plan. We look at each other because there's a lot of traversing that's about
this
to
is
happen.
Almost straight sideways.
Yeah, and there's going to be a big amount of traversing and then a big amount of up. So essentially, like we're not going to be able to get back.
No.
So if we have to bail from here, we're going to have to go straight down, which means we're going to have to go into the abyss and
leave a ton of gear, unquestionably.
It just
you know,
gets
maybe link
expensive,
up with them. Yeah,
you know?
link up with another line.
Yeah, like at best it's going to be expensive. At worst, you're going to like be stuck, you know? Or, I mean, there's worse things, but, right? But everybody ties knots in the end of their rope.
It's a good
we
idea.
would definitely have done that every time. And that way we would have been safe. You got to do it. So we take off, I'm going to take off. And the idea is I'm not going to call for the bag unless I have completed, like if I've made it past the missing section. We're trying to get into the chimneys here. Pretty sure that somewhere in the chimneys there's going to be some, an anchor somewhere from previous.
Or even just a place where we can build an anchor,
Yeah,
but like then
good.
get back into the actual climb.
Get
that
back
was
onto
Northwest Regular.
the route, yeah. And didn't quite go like that. So I take off, and it's like, some bolts and some traversing, some like A0, then went into some A1 and a little bit sketchy here and there. And then there's this like giant blank section. Well, the problem was to get to that giant blank section, I had to go up what's called a dihedral. We've said some of these words before already, but it's essentially like a 90-degree.
Like half a chimney, almost.
Yeah, but you're on the inside of it, right? So I'm climbing up like the inside corner of a 90-degree deal. And the wall behind me, it's going out at 90 degrees, is about 4 or 5 feet, and then it cuts back over and goes flat, blank, nothing on the stone, over to those chimneys we're trying to get to. So I can't just like get over this thing and look around because it's like 5 feet tall backwards, right? And I'm using this crack in front of me as protection. I have to like figure something out. I try all sorts of stuff, man. All sorts of craziness. But I'm also like really far out on the rope. So there's only like, I think we only got like 20 feet of extra rope because I'm so far away from you at this point.
We can't communicate. I mean, this is, I'm sure the wind was blowing.
You
This is
can't-
also where the exposure on Half Dome really starts too, because, most of the rest of it's kind of in, like in scrambling terrain, but then you sort of like step out.
Yeah, you traverse out into like the overhung, into the vertical area where it'd be nice and easy to hang.
And all of a sudden it's
portal edge.
just like the valley just expands below you.
There it is, You're in it now. And I couldn't see you. I think I was like 6 hours in, and you probably hadn't been able to see me for like 4 hours. And eventually I just call for the bag.
Made a decision, man.
Made a decision. Called for the bag. I had to, yeah. So I was stuck at this one spot, and then I figured out like, if I kind of went up and left, I could see 2 anchor bolts. That those are for a different route. I'll have to go down and over again, but maybe I can get a little bit different angle if I got a little bit more rope or something. I could do some sort of pendulum that'll actually work here. And so I have to do some real tricky aid to get up there. And I remember just like, oh man, at one point, I was so far. I was probably 20 feet above a good piece. I had a bunch of just body weight only stuff under me. And I'm like, I've jerry-rigged a hook on, I think I got 2 nuts like woven together to give me like an extra foot to like get this hook up a little bit higher. And I'm literally top stepping my aider. And my last piece is just some junky nothing. It's at my ankle, and I'm like trying to get a hook on something. and the carabiners on the 8ers just moved. They switched, and the thing that I'm standing in it made this noise, and my foot just fell like an inch. Oh man. Oh, good thing I was wearing my brown pants that day, you know what I'm saying? Oh geez. Good. I mean, dang, if I hadn't gotten it all out earlier, I did right there. It was that was a tough one for me.
Uh-huh.
But kept on going, because that's what you do. You just keep on keeping on. And got to those anchors, called for the bag. You came up. I remember you got up there. Took a little while. You look around, and you're like, fuck is this?
Well, and also, like, I had a death-defying experience, like, so, because it was like totally traversing, right? And cleaning a traversing route is one of the most difficult things that you'll have to do as a rock climber.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I got my Jumar stuck in a bolt, and it was just totally stuck. Like, I could not get the Jumar off.
That happened too. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like I just
under tension.
Yeah. The rope and just locked it in there, and I was just totally stuck.
Yeah. You're better off taking the bolt out.
Right, which had no capacity to do that. But and then the whole thing was just horrible. Like I was pulling off of one and then just like swinging out into space, like on repeat. So I'm sure it took me another 2-3 hours to clean this just horrific. And then I get up there thinking that we
have
succeeded where others have failed and solved this problem, and that turned out not to be the case.
It was not the case.
Yeah.
That agreement we had made earlier.
Yeah, was like,
yeah. You're like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, okay, so hear me out.
This is your big idea, man.
This is what I need. I needed more rope. I just couldn't get any more rope, and so now we got plenty of rope to go off of here. So what I'm going to do, you lower me down. I'm going to pendulum slightly over that dihedral over there. So I'm standing on top of it. And then I'm going to tie a knot in a rope, and I'm going to throw it at that thing over there. I'm pretty sure I can get it stuck in that crack off in the distance.
You'll lasso this thing.
Yeah.
This is what you described to me. I mean, I vividly recall this moment in time.
And one of my, you are a therapist at heart. Like, I can tell when you're like encouraging an idea to just like get through this conversation with somebody, like, yep, I'm just going to not disagree with you. So
all right,
nobody's
Alex.
arguing
and I'm just going to pacify this. And
you're going to go down.
Well, this is true. Like, you described this idea to me and I thought you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And
I could see that.
And that is not going to work. That is not going to solve the problem that we have in front of us. And so I just wanted to get you out of my way so I could actually solve the problem. Like, this is literally the thinking process.
Get this guy off this fucking
I'm just going to give him some rope, put him over there, and then I'm going to figure out what we're going to do to actually get off this rock face, which now we're just perched in the center of it with no way back.
And now we can't even go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a mungy crack that was maybe one person, maybe Royal Robbins had climbed a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And we were on pitons with, it was
it's not great.
It was not great.
And,
And so that's what we did, right? I gave you some rope, lowered you off.
Why couldn't we go up right here? I'm like, because that's not the route. It's not pure enough, man. And I think at the time you were like, dude, we're just trying to not die. What do you mean it's not? It's the way of the rock craft.
Yeah, man.
I just read Royal Robbins' Advanced Rock Craft.
Which is where this idea germinated, right?
Yeah. And there was a paragraph in this book that I remember. It was so good.
Well, so that's where we're at, right? I lower you off to get you out of my way.
To go try and toss a knot.
Yeah.
Because there was a random paragraph in Royal Robbins' book that said, if you can throw a knot or get a rope stuck to forego placing a bolt, then it is in the finest of style.
The highest form.
Yeah. Oh yeah, finest of style. Shit. Royal said I could toss a knot right here. That's what I'm going to do. Lower me down, Matt. We're cowboying this shit. Let's go, bro. And, so you lower me down and immediately stop paying attention to me. I think start like reading the guidebook or something, trying to figure something out. And I'm running back and forth trying to get over this stupid thing and da-da-da-da. And I shit you not. I get over that fucking dihedral and I throw this knot. And it took, I don't know, like 3 tries. And then, on the 3rd try, I'm like, I don't even know where the hell this is going to, and I just threw it. And it didn't get to where I want. I remember like I was trying to hook some like old tat and it fell below that. And I'm like, God damn it. And I go and yank on it and it just won't come. And I'm like, damn it, I didn't get it where I wanted it to. And I'm just pulling on it. And then it dawns on me like, oh wait, that was what I was going for. Like, hey Matt, I think it worked.
Like, oh shit, it's stuck. Oh man, wait a minute. Like, yes, it's stuck.
It's stuck. Oh, dude, man, I think I got it.
And I think I yelled down, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah,
like you're
dude.
distracting me right now.
I'm like, I'm doing it. And I pull my drawers out. I'm yanking on the thing, and and sure enough, dude, boom, grab that tat. I made it through the section.
Across, man.
I look over. I'm like, Matt, I made it. And now I'm like eye level with you again. You're like, oh, dude, it was so cool.
Which, like, and even just to put that in perspective, right? Because there was that large ledge that you had to crawl out the side of the dihedral, and then you had to throw this thing, right, and then stick the other side. You have no idea what you were connected into, and then you had to yard your way, pull yourself across, and had that thing popped. You would have flown, but bounced around this dihedral. I mean, it just would have been
which would not have been my first time bouncing around and hurting myself on that dihedral that day. Oh man, I was so beat up from that thing, like just trying to run and jump over it and smashing my shins on it because I didn't jump from the right spot. Oh man, it's good times. It was really good practice for the king swing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Well, so we made it across, right? And then we were into the chimney section. And then, I remember I had my moment of, my come to Jesus or something, like encounter with like just the other side. But like, because then I had to do all the chimneys after that. And they weren't necessarily hard chimneys. No. But and this happened on the nose too, where it's like I'd been hauling this 200-pound bag up the wall for so long, right? Like my legs were cramping. Like I just, had no capacity to like create the amount of pressure inside of a chimney. Yeah. And so like I got, and you can't ever place pro in chimneys, right? And I think there was like a 5.9 option in the back where you could place pro, or the 5.4, 5.7 or something like that.
It's way easier if you climb the outside.
For sure. And I remember I like got, 30 feet up and it's like, then it's like the mungy bottom of the chimney and then just like open air and there's no pro. And like, I just like couldn't go any higher. I was just stuck, man.
What are we gonna do?
And my legs started to wobble, and
and
I was talking to you. I was like, Alex, man, I don't know.
I choose, and
then I made like one more move, and then reached up, and it was just like the most bomber jug on ever, right?
Just
a life saving, and pulled myself out of the chimney.
Yeah.
And then we were far from out of the woods at that point too. In time.
And we were past the rockfall section, but technically we were past the rockfall section that everyone knew about. It's very possible that there was more rockfall up above.
No idea what was up there.
Nobody else has been up here. So we're like, on a good chance we could just finish the rest of the route out on the map like normal. Or it's possible that more will be gone. Which is really inspiring if you're bad at route finding, because if you've never been up there, you're not super confident in your route finding abilities already. You're like, is more of the route missing, or did I screw up? Who knows?
Who knows? You just keep going up, man.
Keep going.
And then again we climbed till like 2 a.m. or something like that. Just like hauling and climbing, and
we got a nice spot for the portal edge.
Nice spot.
Oh man, I remember that. It was right off of a big old ledge, so we could put all of our stuff in a cushy spot.
And then next morning was the 12A. You aided that, and then we just kept going.
We made it through the lightning cracks. Got to Thank God Ledge, which, to bring it full circle. So you're climbing up these cracks for so long, and there's that visor again. That visor,
you can see it above you, right?
Is just right above you, and you're climbing up towards it. And at some point, you're like, is it just me, or is this crack going straight at that fucking visor? And then, you climb it for another 400 feet.
Which is a massive roof.
Yeah.
Like, from your vantage point on the wall, it's like,
how big is that thing?
It's just enormous.
And then you're like, wait a second, is this crack going up the middle of that thing? Am I going to have to climb out the roof, that freaking roof? And then you get to Thank God Ledge, which is aptly named because it gets you from the crack system that's about to have to go out underneath of that crazy roof and kind of traverses over a little bit and goes to much more inviting looking area. It's just like, oh, thank God. And then you did it.
Yeah, man.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool.
You led that one.
It was a 5'9" super awkward chimney after that. But then, then after that, you're kind of like through it,
there,
right?
So then we just kept going.
Summited Half Dome.
Like
we were those people, right? That you had witnessed.
Yeah.
So very, very long ago. I remember it was like a moment of ecstasy, right? It was
like, holy shit, this was that thing that I've been trying to do.
I remember too that I fit because I led that final pitch and got up there and like had to work really, really hard. And then you finally got up there, and then I just like couldn't turn it off, right? Like I was just scrambling, looking for things to do, like looking for like you got to re-rack, I got to like do the I got to butterfly the rope, like I did it, and like, and then it was like this occurrence, right, that washed over me like a wave. Dude, like we actually did it.
Sit down, turn around, look at what we just did. Like wow. Sun's going down on the valley. It's just another day.
Yeah, all the tour, like, because we were so far behind, right, that all the tourists had already departed,
all
right?
The tourists are gone.
Just ours.
We had it to ourselves, just looking at it like, no way. Did we do that? Did we really just do that? And then we went down in history as the Tractor Boys, right?
Well, it was like a devastating, like we don't have to tell the whole descent, but that was utterly devastating also because we had to like then take, because we're still 15 miles or 14 miles
so far from the car.
Yeah, and had
so much stuff still.
It was just
out
awful.
Of food.
We
definitely didn't, emergency bivvy anywhere because that's against the rules. So we definitely hiked all night out and did not stop.
Exactly.
If we had bivvied, we would have just walked out.
Well, what did we have? So all right. So like when we were bivvying,
when we were not,
when we were not bivvying.
Yeah.
What like I remember we got out and we had like two little things of like hotel peanut butter.
We got the two peanut butters, one cream cheese, and a single package of oatmeal. And we
split that.
We opened the little cream cheese, the little container they give you that only covers like half of the bagel. We opened that and cut it in half. And then we split the cheese. The tiny little, we were hungry. That was dinner. After, we had one package of oatmeal. We split one thing, and then we each had our own peanut butter.
Which, I mean, I wonder about that. Alex is like even a depiction of friendship or something like that. Like, I mean, because our relationship in some ways was forged in madness and debauchery and sort of this relentless throwing ourselves at a dream. But like in that process, we entrusted each other over and over and over again with each other's lives
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And we worked so well together. I mean, that was the other thing that I think is what allowed us to exceed our own capacity.
We were really good at crashing at opposite times from each other.
Yeah. Like you'd hit a wall.
I'm done.
And somehow
you'd be like, deal. I got
this, man. Give me the rope, and vice versa, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I remember that time on Moonlight, you'd done that last, and it was like your biggest aid pitch you ever done, climbed into the, into the night, and you're just like hanging off of the anchor. Like, all right.
Delirious, like unable to like form coherent sentences to, like I was,
all right,
just
man, we got to set up
vegetable.
the portal edge. I can eat.
Yeah, well, I remember like because we were in a hanging belay, and you would tell me like, "Hey Matt, can you move over there?" And I would move and then just stick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to but I would just stay in whatever position you assigned me.
Yeah.
Like,
move
you
over there.
you could have told me like raise your hand over your head, and I would have just
Scoot over. Yeah.
just held my hand in the air for an indefinite amount of time. Like I was not.
Raise your feet up.
You told me to like do a dance, and I just like would have like on repeat, like just no functionality left.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you got up there and like you cleaned up the portal edge, and then the next morning, like you were totally toast, right?
Oh,
you
yeah. The next morning, I was like, I don't know about this.
You wanted to go down, I think, but
you're like,
somehow,
I'm down. I'll do another pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know? What's another pitch?
Mm-hmm.
Just get up there and give it a go. See what happens. And then, we stood on the top of that one at the end of that day. It was a good time.
Well, all right. So we did Half Dome. That was
I climbed Half Dome.
We
successfully.
got to the base, and I don't think that anybody was all that enthusiastic that we had.
Nobody was stoked. We were stoked.
We were stoked. Some of our friends were stoked. Pete was stoked. I mean, you know, like our
Pete was stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the people at the the employee camp? They were
enthusiastic. Yeah.
They were confused about why it took us 5 days
to climb Snake Dyke.
To climb Snake Dyke. They were like, "What are you talking about?"
It's just like
I'm like, no, dude, the face of the thing. And they're like, Snake Dyke should not take you that long.
Did not register.
Okay. We did some trip reports.
Yeah.
Put them up on the, back then you had.
I wrote us into a Wikipedia page, and then somebody just took it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
I was like, it's unaccounted for feet because the rockfall was.
Yeah, like Wikipedia has got that like liberal thing where they're changing history or something.
Yeah, it must be. Anyway, they changed art history because I wrote us into the history of Half Dome.
I think that's a QAnon thing. I'm not sure.
Maybe so.
So then we write some stuff and put it up on the interwebs and see what happens, right? And then we got a few comments. There was a couple people that I think my favorite one was nice job, boys. Now get back on your tractor and get out of California.
And head back to Iowa.
Yeah, head back to Iowa. Get back on your John Deere and head back to Iowa or something like that. I'm like, yep, that's us. We're the tractor boys.
Yeah.
Just, show up and do something epic once in a while.
For sure.
All you got to do is one cool thing in your life. Just one really cool thing.
Yeah, we got ourselves in Rock and Ice as well.
That was Outside Magazine. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Well, and kept on this, this path, right? Like there was a level of determination to climb the nose.
We got to climb the nose still.
Still exceeded us to some degree. But I want to kind of introduce into the conversation this component that we've kind of had in the background, which I think factors into where we're at now. But an unusual amount of death seemed to follow us around.
Death and dismemberment would happen in the vicinity.
And I don't know if it was because of the relentless nature of how we plowed forward towards this objective. We both were able to just compartmentalize that.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem to have much effect on us.
Yeah.
But maybe even because the start of the nose, right, had an incident that I think is resurfaced for you, especially for me as well.
That one was tough, but we'll back up a little bit. We had, I don't know, for some reason, every time we went climbing somewhere, somebody would die. Or get horribly disfigured. I saw a guy's leg turn into dust one time. Hardcore stuff.
Well, I mean, it was and they were all trips that usually I was a part of, and on some of them I was directly involved, but a number of them, you were on one one route at Devil's Tower, and I was on a different one.
And then for some reason the accident would happen right by me or something. Yeah, had a guy get crushed by a boulder on Devil's Tower, and the guide that he was with attempted to stop the boulder from falling on the guy and got his hand completely crushed, and then had to just rip his hand out to try and go get help. And I was the closest person, and I went me and this other dude.
Well, we were both on rappel, right? So
Yeah.
like I finished my rappel and then got down, and then you were halfway down the
I was
rappel.
partway down.
Because there's like 4 or 5 rappels in Devil's Tower to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
And you were halfway down, and then, you know, the guy starts screaming
The
for
guy's
help.
like, emergency, emergency.
And so you Jumar'd back up.
I gotta go back up, check it out, and there, sure enough, it's an emergency. There's a big old boulder on this dude, and we had to like everything we had, put every little bit of strength we had to be able to move this boulder like an inch, and the guy's daughter was able to like pull him out from this thing. It was, yeah. So just, you know, we're on the road to the nose. Just shove that in the in that little jar, right? And just keep on keeping on.
Well, and the other one was that you were walking away from the bowling alley and a boulder came tumbling down and just, like you said, liquidated.
Some like cool guys. We
They were doing hard stuff.
We were camping with. Oh no, that was their first time. And there was like some college dudes. It's like 4 or 5 of them. They're super stoked. You know, they've been climbing. They've been getting after it, and they're like, "This first time to Devil's Tower is gonna be awesome. We're gonna go climb, you know, endurance or something. You know, we're gonna get to the top. It's gonna be the coolest thing ever." And I was stoked for them. I mean, they're gonna have a great time. They climbed to the top of that thing. They got all the way down. They're on their way out. They're hiking out.
You were in the party with it, right? Like they were.
I was like, well, I was going up when they were coming down. And yeah, there was this rock fall, and it hits the bottom, and then this rock just explodes and shoots off everywhere. And these 5 guys are walking in a line, and this boulder just hits one of the dudes like below his knee. And just poof, his leg's gone. Like I don't know if it even knocked him over. It hit him so hard and fast, you know. And then I think like, damn, that had been crazy for him, but also like his buddies, you know. Like, I mean, they had just done something epic. You know, there's like the dude right in front of him. They're like, fuck, what if I just stopped for a second? You know? Or like the guy behind him, like, what if we were just going a little faster? Like, that had to screw up all of them in the group, you know? Definitely the dude who lost his leg. But, like, I bet all of those guys walked away from that like, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to climb again. And
so first-hand witness to that.
And I was just
stuff
like,
that in the jar as well.
In the jar, you know.
Yeah, kept going.
I wish those guys the best, man. I hope they're doing all right. But yeah, that's going in the jar. Just keep on going. And then we got to Yosemite to climb the nose. That was 2017. You and me were gonna go climb the nose. It was gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So this is 6 years of preparation, man, of dreaming, of this centralizing, like, you know, like you orient your life around this. Like this is, we're going to go do it, right?
And, so I get in, I drive in. I'm there a week before you, doing some warm-up climbs with my wife. And then we're going to go, like, stash some gear, stash some water. At Sickle Ledge on the nose. Because you're about to fly in, we're going to pick you up, and then we're going to, you know, climb this thing. And so we're going to go up the fixed lines to stash some gear. I'm at the base of this thing. I remember Hannah was like, oh, I forgot something in the car. And so she's just going to run back to the car, which is real easy because the nose is 15 minutes from the road, right? And I'm standing there. I mean, I literally got my ascenders on the rope, like ready to go. And I hear this crack. And I look to my right. And there in a house, like a large 2-story house, has detached from the wall. It is falling. Like I'm watching the rock in the air. And it just smashes the ground. It just shakes it. This huge mushroom cloud of dust and crap goes up everywhere. I'm like, what the? And my first thought was like, fuck, what if somebody's over there? So I just unhooked from the rope. I still got my harness on. I had another rope. I think I threw it over my shoulder and I just took off running. Like, Hannah's down at the car. I can't talk to her. I don't know, whatever. Just take off running. And, yeah, we come up on these two people. By the time we get up there, another guy is like, somebody else was climbing a route up high on El Cap, or they were just starting. So they rappelled down, and it just got to the ground about the time that I got over there. So me and one other guy are running to the scene. And then there's a couple guys that are like a few pitches up, you know, but too high up to be able to get down quickly enough to help, whatever. But they can see from a bird's eye view what's going on. They're like yelling to us, getting a whatever. And we come up to this woman, and she's just like black and blue on half of her body, and she's like leaning against the wall. And the other guy's like, you okay? Is there anybody else? And she, oh, my husband's back there. You got to save my husband. So that guy stays with her, and I run over. You kind of got to go like around a little bit. This like big arete type deal. And, I'm trying not to like be real close to the cliff because there's still like
Stuff's coming
stuff falling. Like loose debris from behind the big rock is still everywhere. And I get around enough, I can like see this guy's body. And like that dude's dead. Like, I'm pretty sure that dude's dead. I can't get close enough to him because stuff's still like falling. I remember just standing there and just screaming at him. Like, move something. Move one thing. Move your elbow. Nod your head. Give me something. And I'll run in there, you know? Like, just roll a little bit. Something. Didn't move.
I mean, Alex, I'm watching you describe this, and like you can still see it.
It was, yeah, like standing on this freaking big rock, just like pretty sure I'm looking at a dead person, just staring at it. I felt pretty dumb screaming at him, you know, but like, what do? You know, like if he's already gone, I don't want to risk my life. I mean, literally risk my life trying to like get his body out of there.
Yeah, I mean, you were in a dust cloud, you know, like debris is still coming off the rock face.
Yeah. Like if he moved at all, if I thought at all, that dude's still got a chance. Like, go for it. So I walk back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's this woman and this guy. The dude had called Yosar. You could hear the choppers and whatever. How's my husband? I don't remember what I said to her. I probably lied. I don't know. Yeah. What am I supposed to? Oh, he looked dead. Yeah, I don't know what to tell her. She's like, I mean, this chick is wrecked. And the Yosar, like, two Yosar guys fly in, hanging from the ball of a helicopter, because we're like on some pretty steep, bouldery terrain, you know, and the helicopter can't, like, I mean, we're right at the base of the wall, so it's not like the helicopter can fly right above us. Mm-hmm. It's got to be like a ways out, and these dudes are on ropes, and they're getting lowered down with all this stuff, you know, bring all this crap up. So now there's four of us trying to whatever and assessing things, and she can't lay down because one of her lungs is collapsed. They put her in this like special little bag that, you know, kind of holds her like, I don't know, like the shape of a V. And then four of us have to like carry her from, you know, four handles on this bag through this boulder field back over to this hook hanging from a helicopter.
Mm.
And I attach this helicopter to her and fly away, whatever. And then the rest of the Yosar gets up there to be able to check out the situation and whatever. And then I'm like, all right, you got to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so I leave, and like, that was my experience. Like, there was nothing.
Yeah, then you came and got me at the airport.
Yeah, then I came and got you at the airport, and now we're going to go climb the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, after talking to some people, like, all the people that were a part of that rescue, like, it's common practice for them to all now have to go spend an hour with a therapist and get evaluated to figure out whether or not they need to spend more time with a therapist because of the traumatic incident that they just experienced.
Well, I remember finding out too. I mean, you told me all this stuff, right? You picked me up in the airport. We drove back into Yosemite, and it was a newlywed couple that was on their first
they were on their
honeymoon trip. Yeah,
they were on their honeymoon,
and they were just hiking. No, they were gonna climb.
They
right?
were planning to climb the nose. They had the same goal as us, man. They were like, they're from the UK. They had traveled halfway across the world to do one of their biggest dreams of their life, and they were, preparing to climb the nose, and they were just off to the side on El Cap, like climbing some cool single pitch stuff, and that rock just attached, and that dude saw it. And he looked at his wife, and he just jumped on top of her. Like, he gave his life to save hers. No questions asked. Just immediate.
It was just I don't know, like, contemplating that. Like, I also, think that about you too, Alex. And one of the reasons, man, that you've been, my climbing partner, and why I don't know, like, put myself in those positions with you. But like, that is a statement of your character as well. Like, that rock detached, and you ran one direction and not the other. And those were rock climbers as well. Like, I think highly of our people. We are. It's a certain breed, right?
Somebody could be hurt over there. I definitely put myself in situations enough that I could be that person, and I would hope that somebody would run towards me. Maybe if I help enough people,
build up some karma,
and then I get a little karma in there. And maybe if when I screw up, and you remember, like 6 months before that, I almost died on longs too. That was pretty fun.
Was that with that was the one with you and Aaron, right?
Oh yeah, me and Aaron Ralston. Yeah. Dude with 127 hours cut his arm off. Maybe he's too famous. We can't say his name.
Yeah, too late.
It was Aaron with an E.
It's a different movie.
It was 128 hours. That might actually be a horror movie or something, isn't it? That's like a Contagion.
28 days later, I think is what you're talking
right.
about.
Yeah. So I'm climbing Keeners on the side of Long's Alpine route. This was like 6 months before Yosemite. We're moving light and fast like you do in the Alpine, right?
It's a winter ascent of Longs, which is...
why not? And, so we got like a 7 mil, half rope with us or something. Because, like, who's going to fall, right? And we get past the, like, big, steep slope or snow sections and We're, like, halfway up, kind of off to the side of the face of Longs, and got like this 1,000-foot drop below us. We only got like a couple 100 feet of easy chimney climbing left, and then a little bit of a hike. We're at the top of this thing. It's gonna be rad. Start climbing this pitch, and we got like this little mangy anchor, right?
Well, you were up close to the top, right? Like 3 or 4 pitches from the finish or something like that.
From the top of Longs, yeah.
But it's a chimney pitch.
It's a chimney pitch, and it's like
5'7" or something like that. You're in crampons and...
Yeah, crampons,
ice axe
and ice axe, like throwing an ice axe over my shoulder, trying to like use my bare hands to like climb on icy rock and that type of shit, And I'm climbing, trying to go fast because it's starting to hail. And I'm like, well, shit, if it's hailing, you should probably go. And I remember looking down at Aaron and seeing the way that he belays. And just like, it was at that moment that it clicked for me, like, oh yeah, that guy's missing his right freaking hand. Mm-hmm. Like, he's probably going to belay a little weird.
Like with his like teeth and stuff, right?
Yeah, he's got to like pull the rope and then like bite it and like move his hand down, you know? Like, I mean, it makes sense. It's legit, but like, oh, crap.
That's probably a gree-gree. I don't know. Like,
oh, man, not super confidence inspiring, but, you know, especially I'm getting hailed on and crampons, whatever. Yeah, so, like, I'm trying to climb fast, so I didn't put in place any gear, you know, and I remember I'm like 40 feet above the anchor. And I'm like, oh, I should probably put in a piece.
On a 7mm, and it started raining, right?
Yeah, and so I go and I place this number 2. And as soon as I place the number 2, the hail turns to rain. And it like kind of a lot of rain. Like, whoa, that was nuts. Good thing I got this piece in. And I remember going and grabbing my rope, you know, going up this chimney, grabbing my rope. And I looked over and my left foot just like, just comes off the wet rock. And I got the rope like in my hand trying to reach it up to the cam. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I just fall 40 feet, boom, to the bottom of this thing. But it's like real steep, right? And so I don't just like hit the ground. I like hit this steep, bouldery crap and I start tumbling. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dang, this is how it happens. Like, focus up, bud. Everybody gets to experience dying one time in their life. Mm-hmm. Better be here for that moment because it's about to fucking happen, you know? I'd made too many poor decisions for any of this shit to work, right? I'm about to factor to a shitbox anchor on a 7mm rope. Like, you know, crampons and ice axes flying everywhere and blah, blah, blah. This ain't going to work.
Which is, I mean, that's rock climbing, right? You can generally make one mistake.
Yeah.
But you cannot make two simultaneneously.
You probably
and you really shouldn't make three.
Make like 6, you know?
That's worse.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Which, I mean, that was a prospect there, right? That you could have ripped the anchor out and that would have.
Oh, yeah. And like kill my friends too.
Yep.
Yeah. That would have not been awesome.
Oh.
But shit, the rope caught.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, the rope caught.
Did what ropes are supposed to do.
Yeah, and it didn't break or nothing. It was awesome. Probably one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, really. And I just stood up and like cheered. He's like, dude, you need to sit down. Turns out I got like messed up my knee. I got a concussion, all this fun stuff. And then, yeah.
Somehow managed to get yourself off of because you were way back. I mean, as long as it's like a 19-mile round trip or something like that.
Some crazy amount, you know, and it's snowing and this and that. And like, oh, man.
You really pulled that boulder
I think it was like
down on yourselves too. That
almost killed one of my friends on the way back.
It's crazy, man.
And then, it was like 24 hours car to car. I think it took like 10 hours to get back, like with my busted knee that like swole up so bad that I couldn't get my pants off. Like my knee was stuck in my pants. And, you know, just another one of those like, well, stuff it in the jar. We got some nose to climb. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, our jar is getting fuller and fuller.
Oh,
right?
Dude,
like
it expands.
Yeah.
It gets bigger.
Yeah,
you don't have to. It gets limitless, really.
Yeah.
It's an imaginary jar.
Totally. It's not even a real jar anyway. This metaphor we keep using, it's actually, that's not a factual thing. Yeah.
Not like something you can actually hold, you know. It's just inside of you. And,
So we go climb the nose, right?
So we climbed the nose. And
had a great time.
It was awesome. Oh man, it was so much fun. We remember the lasagna freaking blew up on you on night 1?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like in your pants.
Yeah,
and
so
like,
that's a fun story on my end, right? So we past Sickle Ledge, headed
I
towards
think we were on. We had
headed towards
you had just
El Cap Ledge, right?
we were on El Cap Ledge.
And already torched, man. I was already like it wasn't going as well as because like always when we set out on these things, I'm always in my mind like, oh man, I'm gonna cruise this thing. Like
Dude,
the 5/8 pitch is on, like stove legs, man.
How
I'm just
hard
gonna
could
like, and then it just that never happens. Instead, I
so
just
hard.
get absolutely dismantled the entire way. And so that was like the final pitch with that like 5.9 off with.
And you were cold. Remember
it started snowing.
You
man.
were in a t-shirt and it was sunny outside. And during your last pitch, it randomly got dark and started snowing.
Yeah, just like the storm just came in like a fucking dragon, man.
Like,
just like descended on the valley, and then it was like from 65 degrees to like 28. And it's snowing, and like in this off-width pitch that I didn't bring enough gear for, so like I'm leapfrogging like, size 5 cams,
it's all
like,
wet
and I've only got
now.
2 of them, and it's like totally wet, and it
you're
was
in
just
a t-shirt.
horrible. And I was in a it was horrible.
Yeah. And it's like, and then the clouds like break.
Yeah. And the sun pierced back through the cloud. Like, I remember like in this eerie, like everything was orange. Do you remember that?
What?
Like
And it's like, but it's starting to get dark and like the sun's going down now. Like, what is happening right now, dude?
For sure. And then we made it to El Cap Ledge, and then got ourselves set up, and it was still just freezing cold.
Just nice and I was comfortable.
Yeah. Well, sorry. So I was freezing because probably had hypothermia that was like unable to like.
I was with the haul bag when this happened, and I was able to like put
just all
clothing
cozied
on.
up and like probably having some hot chocolate down there.
I wasn't climbing in a t-shirt.
And so then we got everything set up, and then jet boiled our dinner, right? Like, because eating dehydrated food, and like it was probably a good one. It wasn't pizza this time around. We learned our lesson. No more pizza, and filled the thing up, and it was just so warm.
Yeah,
it was like
can't let all that
like put all that
go
boil.
to waste.
So I stuck it underneath my jacket, underneath my shirt, just like holding it close to my skin.
Hadn't taken your harness off, hadn't taken any of your gear off. You're just tired,
just feeling
just
that
laying
heat
there.
emanate into me until the bag burst,
and then
it was lasagna. Yeah, you remember it was lasagna. Yeah. And it just exploded inside my jacket.
I remember it like getting in all your.
Oh, it's just everywhere. It's like in
my
like gree and like
out of ascenders and stuff. Like just.
I mean, like once again, you can't waste your calories, right?
No, you gotta
you need those calories.
Need those calories.
Like scooping it out of my my harness, and it was just everywhere. I was coated, and so we went to bed, and that is another thing that most people do not know about big wall climbing and about these massive cliffs, is that for some reason or another mice live on the side of them.
They just live on them. Yeah, there's mice everywhere.
Yeah, all over the place.
I don't know what's going. Like, how do they get up here?
Yeah, and so on repeat, because now I'm just totally coated in lasagna, which must have just been the most delicious thing on the earth if you're a mouse.
Mice are coming all over.
And it was like over and over. I mean, it must have happened 10 times where I just woke up and there's like a mouse on my face in the middle of the night.
And they're like running.
And I was like grabbing them and chucking them off the side of El Cap. Like,
you could just like hit them and then they'd fly.
They just go flying.
And they're gone now.
Into the
That's
abyss.
like, I don't know if they can like open up their little mouse like skin flaps and float. Or
oh man,
probably
I didn't wish them well on their descent.
Like they probably died. So we chucked so many mice off that ledge that day. Also, the other weird thing, every ledge on El Cap stinks of urine. Just stinks of urine practically the whole time.
Sometimes because you're the one urinating on it.
Probably, yeah. But other people have done that too in the same spot. So that's just a free little tidbit for everybody out there if you were wondering how big wall climbing is. It's a little smelly. There might be some rodents.
A little dirty, a little.
You know, sleep on the side of a probably shitty ledge that's not flat.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the next night we got to our prospective place of our
we had to go. Our plan was to make it to Camp 4.
We got there and discovered that
book claims
it was occupied.
Good bivvy for 2. And we got there and there was like
we didn't bring our portal edges that time around. No,
because we were trying to go light. Yeah, and then there was like 4 different parties at Camp 4, and there was like another party.
Yeah, because it's a convergence from Triple Direct and the Nose, so like they both meet up right
like
there.
A bunch of people right there. It's like, oh. So we kept climbing.
Yes, we did.
Oh man, epic!
It was like such an epic moment in time. I just remember screaming like, "Fuck yeah, we're climbing the Nose!"
Yeah,
it's like our voices just echoing out into the valley.
Oh, looking at
like
the
after
great roof,
And there's so many moments on this too, right? The King Swing, and it's just like an endless sequence of adventures, right? And the great roof and the pancake flake, and like just these iconic, just amazing pieces of climbing history. And
the Nose is such a great route. I would recommend it to everybody, mostly because it's fantastic. But also it's self-limiting. So 80% of people who try get shut down. You got to kind of want it more than other people, I guess. And so then we had to climb into the night. We did the great roof at sunset though. We got to climb in that thing when it was just filled with pink,
orange, radioactive color. I mean, there's nothing prettier than
dude,
the sunset in the valley.
Oh, it's just what it does to the rock is amazing. Just that was a top tier experience of mine. And then we now it's dark and you gotta keep climbing. Which happens more often.
Yeah, you did that off with pitch, and like it just took us forever, and we were just like telling stories of like just telling stories that we can't repeat.
Right, just any story we could think of to just like stay awake.
Yeah, and motivate each other, and
then that spider came out of nowhere. You remember this giant spider? Like climbing, trying to place gear, or whatever, and I like go to put a cam in this like 8-inch diameter spider just like lunges out of this hole in the wall, but not like lunges and jumps, like just kind of very quickly moves out and then looks like right at me and practically like puts 2 arms up like I'm gonna protect this spot, dude. No, like no,
it was there to fight, man.
I need to put my cam in that hole, and this spider is like,
that's my hole, man.
You ain't putting your cam in my hole. And oh, it's like my wife.
It's just like a bit of a tutorial, man, of the wildlife on on the side of El Cap.
Crazy. Spider ended up leaving us alone. Kept climbing. And we got to that ledge that was just
another just atrocious night of sleep. It was Camp 6 or something.
It was Camp 5.
Camp 5, yeah.
And we're like, it's supposed to be a good bivvy for 2. It was not terrible. It was not level in multiple directions.
Well, I mean, again, I don't know. I was sleeping on the outside, and it was like a ramp, so it was slanted down towards what is just a sheer face. And like half my body was just absolutely hanging off the side of this thing as I attempted to sleep.
Yeah, it was wild. And then we went to sleep at like 3 a.m. and then the sun came up at 7, and then I got that epic portrait of you, and we're just tore up, and.
Yeah, and we had changing corners, but we were right.
One more day, man.
And then it was another one of those instances. I mean, because I like also like muscled up and like did my pitches and like showed some fortitude and some resilience and then by the end of it I was just crashed out, and you got this miraculous second wind at the end, and I was like peeing blood. I mean, you remember that, man? I was like literally. Peeing blood, like I was shutting. My system was shutting down.
It was going down, and all of a sudden I could like climb really well.
Yeah.
I think it was just this like pure motivation of like I don't want to do this anymore. And
if I keep doing it for a little while longer, I don't have to.
If I just do this faster, I'll get done faster. I need to. This is. I'm not having any fun anymore. Let's go.
You locked in though, man. It was brilliant to watch. You were short fixing pitches and and that was like, I mean, that is the thing about big wall climbing is you were continuously in motion. Yeah. Like you can never stop solving problems. Never stop. Like even when you're on belay, even if it's a 2-3 hour belay, like you are continuously organizing the bag, you're re-racking.
Making it better. Never one person has to constantly be moving upward at any given time. Like, it was, and then we got that like magical moment one pitch from the top. They had that big old that ledge that was like just big enough to sit on and look back at the valley floor, just covered, and all the lights were coming on. Like, fuck, man, look, we're at the top of Hellcat.
Yeah, it's like the experience is like this almost like endless, inconceivable level of suffering, just sprinkled in with these like pristine, like existential, like just divine moments in time. You know, like where everything just stops and. And it's just like this, the perfection of being or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It's, you gotta like break through a little bit of who you didn't think you could be.
Yeah.
To like find.
Yeah. I want to come back a little earlier in the climb because I think it was a moment of personal evolution for you. But, you know, so we slept on El Cap Ledge, and then the next pitch was the chimney.
And Texas Flake.
Yeah. And I think that I watched something take place in front of my eyes, which was like a personal transformation of you.
Yeah.
Like because I had led almost all of the pitches going up till that, and then it was just your turn. And once again, because of the haul bag, my legs were all cramped up.
Sure.
You know, and you were not feeling it that morning.
It was,
but it wasn't like, man, I was having serious leg cramps. It wasn't like I was just going to be able to power up that time. Like it was, we were going to go down.
The chimneys anyway.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like
Yeah, it was just your job.
For that.
Yep.
Man, I like climbed up into that.
And it's horrible, right? It's like 90 to 100 feet of
Tall.
zero pro.
Yeah, and
there's one bolt in the middle.
Bolt, which I think might be worse.
Yeah. You almost don't want to use it.
Yeah, like there's one bolt in the middle of just this huge thing, and you have to just like chimney climb, like just smear on two sides for like 100 feet.
Yeah, El Cap Granite is so slick. You know, it's like,
yeah, like all you got is this one bolt in the middle, which is essentially only going to be useful for like 10 feet above the bolt. And then there's like so much rope out below you that
it's probably not going to prevent you from decking anyway.
No, you're going to break your freaking legs. And
so describe that though, because you were not in a great mental state. Like going into that,
not.
You didn't want to do it. Like it was. I mean, the success of climbing that route was like, you know, it was going to be determined whether or not you climbed that or not.
Yeah, and I did not want to climb that pitch, but I did not want to not climb the nose worse. If that makes sense. Like, and then, I probably stood in the bottom of that thing for half hour.
We wasted some time.
45 minutes or something, just standing there doing nothing. Just, what am I going to do?
Yeah, I was trying to therapize you. I mean, nothing was helping.
Yeah,
you know, it was just
not.
I think you confronted yourself like in a very visceral, very real way.
Yeah.
Like you had to look yourself in a mirror. I actually wrote a poem about it later called The Mirror, because that's what I think that happened, man. You had to stare into the depths of your soul and find out if you were worthy.
Like I kept claiming that I wanted to do this, and now I'm at this point where like, well, then do it.
Yeah, because you didn't have excuses, right? Like there wasn't any reason you shouldn't have.
No, I mean,
other than it's terrifying and
dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's all the things, but like there was nothing that happened that we didn't know.
That's what we signed up for.
Yep.
Yeah. If it was easy, I would have gotten bored a long time ago. Yeah.
I remember there was a thought that you described that specifically had to do with your daughter.
Yeah. So a lot of times I will dedicate climbs that, like when I get to a point where I feel like I can't do this anymore, like I can't do it with the stoke that I have in me. Then I kind of gain power from other people. I'm like, I'm going to do this for someone else, right? And I had thought about all these other people that I like dedicated different climbs to and whatever, and it was just not enough. Like, no.
Nothing was tapping into some resource that you needed at that moment in time.
And then I just thought like, man, I've wasted so much time doing this. Like, I've spent so much of my freaking life training for this and trying to do this. Like, I have missed so much time with my daughter. What am I going to, like, just, like, not do it? I'm just going to, like, give up at the freaking end, you know? Like, I just thought about my kid, and I'm always telling her that cheesy, you got to follow your dreams. You got to believe in yourself. You got to try hard. Nothing's impossible if you try hard and believe in yourself. And fuck, I wasn't doing either one of those things, I was just standing there, and I was pretty sure I couldn't do it. Mm. And eventually I was like, let's go. I turned on a song. One of my buddies has got this this cool folk band called
Sam,
called the Kanza Format and Forment. It's like a music reference. I'm not that cool. And he's got this song called The Climb. And I turned it on, and it gave me that little boost that I needed. And I just start going for it, and I'm like, not really feeling, oh man. And I remember the song kind of faded out right as I went and clipped that bolt. Just, there it was, that one little piece of something. And then all of a sudden, just da 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 da, like friggin', it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the, oh man, just let's go, and just the eye of the tiger, Rocky, just like filled me with joy, and I just went. I'm like, look it, I've already done that, and I just start going, and all of a sudden I feel so good. Like, it's just, it works all of a sudden. I'm climbing. I'm like, this is easy. And I remember just slapping that anchor at the top, being like, let's go!
I mean, I remember, man, you came out just roaring.
Oh, just jazz. And I tore up that next pitch. Just blah, 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 blah.
You came out the other side, and it was almost like a different climbing partner, a different human emerged on the other side.
I felt like a different person.
And it was also like an instance of knowing, like, we weren't going to fail. Like, I mean, I knew it. Like, I almost inherited your,
yeah.
Like, up until that point in time, I had some concerns about whether or not but like, the instance you emerged on the other side of that, then I knew, like, there was nothing that was going to prevent us from.
Man.
And I mean, I even had my, there was the king swing, and then we were trying to pass that party.
Yeah, right after the king swing, and there was that like, oh, you could do this thing over here, but if you do this like 5-12 variation free climbing thing over here, you could skip like a couple 100 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
And you were like, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Just like sacked up, like, 1,500 feet off the ground. Like, it's just sport climbing. I can sport climb 512. How hard could that be, Just sacked up and went for it, dude. That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we like emerged as something else, man. It was like I don't know. I mean, it was such a singular moment in time.
Yeah. And there was like nothing that was going to stop us after that. Like, we were doing this.
It was almost like you spend a lot of your life trying to become a certain person, right?
Yeah.
And there was something about it, I think, for both of us, where on the other side of that, like, we were that person all of a sudden.
Like,
and it may be fleeting. Like, I don't know that I still feel like that. But
have done this, and they've been able to succeed at it because they're good. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm going up here, and I'm going to be able. I'm like, if I can succeed at this, it's probably because like I've cheated somehow. Like I'm.
Yeah, but we didn't like hire the guy.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, it was. We always like talked about. Like, if you break it down, like, what's the calculation? And like, say it requires 50 points of climbing capacity, right? Like,
system.
Like, if you climb with Alex Honnold, he's, 200 points, right? So like, you can be a 0 and it doesn't really matter. And he's like taking his mom up El Cap. So, but you were like 23 and I was like a 22. Like we, like the sum of both of us did not, it
wasn't 50 yet.
It was not 50, right?
And we
were just planning on making up.
Fuck it, we're gonna do it anyway. You know, like I think we're almost there. Like, maybe it'll work. But that was all of them. You know, that was every climb we ever did. If we knew for sure that we could do it, it wasn't interesting enough to try.
So true, yeah.
Like, I want to do the stuff that I'm pretty sure I can't do. See if we can.
Yeah.
See if I'm good enough.
The conquest of the impossible, right?
And for some reason, when everybody else does it, they're good enough. That's why they were able to complete it. But like when I do it, still not good enough, you know? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I still tell the story, like, and, you know, whenever I describe this, you know, this particular experience is like, I'm the worst person who's ever climbed the nose.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm pretty close. Like, I don't know, like this.
I have a amazing climbing resume for how shitty of a rock climber I am. You know, like I'm just, people are like, oh man, you've done what? Dang, you must be awesome. Nope. I just like tried really hard a bunch of times.
Well, so let's like tie this together, right? Because, you know, there's a component of this, like where I think rock climbing for both of us is so integral in our identities. Like, you know, like and certainly that is, you know, like historically true. Like I was a rock climber, right? Like that's how I define myself. It's like what I thought about, what I dreamed about. And I think for you too, like it's
my identity.
And, you know, I don't like, where is that now? Would you say personally for you, how has trauma affected that?
It's, now I got a really different relationship with rock climbing. It's a little weird. Because after the nose, right? Like all the stuff I put in that jar was trying to get out. Well, like the fact that I needed to climb the nose was really like holding that jar closed.
Well, just to throw one more in there too, like we went out to the Cirque, right?
Oh yeah, on my bachelor party.
Your bachelor party, and you know
we show up.
Yeah, we're gonna climb Pangora. I didn't get in until after, which is another like one of these instances where somehow like I was just like over there while somebody was. Yeah, and like so, you know, like on the route that you and I were gonna climb, as kind of like
somebody took a giant
celebration of your
giant fall, and they died, and they had to get evac, like
the body had to get
take off,
evac from the route that we were on.
Oh shit, we gotta, like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
there goes that guy who was really confident that he was gonna be able to do that.
Yeah,
and now it's my turn.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even think you told me about it, and you know, and then we just
so
we flossed the climb, and
weird thing to right, tell your partner.
And then I think you told me after.
Yeah, you're like he didn't seem all that there. He seemed a little weird on that climb. What was that? I'm like, I just watched some dude die.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even another one too, man. Like Brad Gobright, like which is cool on the nose too. Like Brad Gobright and Jim Reynolds when
they passed us
when Tommy and Alex Honnold were like in that, just like
they're both trying to like bring the number down, right?
And then Tommy and Alex got it under 2 hours eventually, which is like, you know, just uncontested at this point. But Jim Reynolds and
Jim and Brad did it in like 2:15 or something,
and held the nose record for a little while. But they passed us while we were on the nose.
And then we were going down to Potrero.
Yep.
And we went and we got to Potrero like a week after Brad.
Well, and Pete is Sendero Luminoso, that, you know, that classic 12D or whatever. Pete went and climbed,
he was
the route.
going to go climb that specific route. We weren't going to do that one.
No.
We were more like.
But so Pete was climbing on, you know, like on the rock that Brad Gobright.
Brad just died on.
Died on like a weekend. And that stuff just seemed to haunt us, like wherever we went.
Just everywhere. I don't know why. Like everywhere we went, like somebody just died, or
half
like
the rock face fell off.
So I've kind of stopped.
So your jar finally.
Yeah, my jar opened, and now I'm really into backcountry skiing. So I've found with trauma, if you just switch sports, you don't have to face any of it. And, you know, if you don't have trauma in like the new sport, works out great. So backcountry skiing is, well, Actually, no, like come to think about it, backcountry skiing, it's just really hard and it's a high cost to entry sport. I don't recommend it for everybody. Yeah. I like it.
Just to press you like a little bit on this one, because I watched you go through kind of this like, you climbed the nose, you did the thing that you set out to do, and then kind of created a myth about yourself that in some ways you spent a lot of time trying to live up to.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like, holy shit, Alex is a good rock climber. Mm-hmm. And then, that's kind of, I feel like other people looked at me like, hey man, let's go do stuff. Like, you're good. Mm-hmm.
And I think you were setting higher and higher objectives while simultaneously experiencing that trauma just asserting itself.
Yeah. And then after the nose, a bunch of, like, I had partners that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then, like, everybody started getting pregnant and having babies. And
I moved out to Montana.
Yeah, he moved to Montana. Pete's on his third kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Life changes, keeps going, Mm-hmm. And it was, then I got this, like, different relationship with rock climbing, kind of. Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is enabled to go, because that is an extended period of time, and I've known you for long enough, Alex, to know that you experienced severe depression, and that trauma was, like, very visceral for you. Like, this is not an abstract thing. Like, you lived through this.
Yeah, then I'd go, eventually I'd go and try to climb, and I'd, like, stand at the bottom. I remember going on a trip to Yosemite, and I, like, hauled all the gear to the base of Lost Arrow, like, staring at the wall, like, with my harness on. Like, I can't do this. I just can't. Like, I don't, like, with everything I am, like, I want to do this,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the body keeps the score, right?
This route is completely within my ability. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this with a friend, like, a good friend of mine was, like, stoked and really wanted to do this line, and he's, like, getting into big wall climbing. I'm going to, like, teach my friends some stuff. It's going to be epic. And just, like, I can't do this. And but also as part of my identity, like, this is who I am. This is what makes me great. This is why I'm an interesting person. This is why people like me. Like, this is because, like, I'm good at this one thing. At least that's what I thought. And then all of a sudden, like,
just like a wrecking ball just wipes through that, right? Like, where you got to stand in front of somebody that you're trying to show him the ropes, right? And then he sees you as a fraud almost.
It's just nothing. Uh-huh. And we just walked away from the climb, and I just remember, like, hey man, I really hope that you don't, like, hold this against me. And he is like, dude, we're friends. I'm definitely not going to hold it against you. And I just felt like I could just see it in his eyes, like, I'm not going to hit you up to go climbing again. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, your friends moved on, right?
Yeah, and it hurt. I don't know, like, not that specific incident, but, like, just the whole, like, this thing that I was good at, that I love, that I'm just not good at anymore. Like, who am I as a person? Like, kind of felt like my whole world was, like, taken from me, and I just wasn't sure why. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think that's where you're at now. In fact, I know you pretty well, Alex. Like,
made a little progress.
Yeah. So, and I know backcountry skiing is a component of that, but certainly not. Like, it's not like you just started backcountry skiing and then, that wiped away decades of trauma and exposure to death, and like so. How
cool would that be?
You just
if you could just, like, a couple powder turns and, like, you're just better.
You just erase the whole all of.
Oh man, that would be cool. Turns out, not how it works.
So how did it work? How did you get from that place of a lost identity to?
Oh yeah, so I was at my marriage counselor, right? Because now, like, most of my life is imploding. And this marriage counselor is like, some of these stories kind of sound like you might have some PTSD. I'm like, what the fuck? Like the military thing, Mm-hmm. And then I go to my therapist, my actual therapist, right? And I'm like, hey, what's up with this? And she's like, maybe, huh? We should kind of work on that, don't you think? And then turns out that all you have to do is read a whole bunch of books, put in a obsessive amount of time. It'll require you to do, like, come up with goofy habits that are like telling yourself that you're worth something, but you gotta like look in the mirror and say it every day, and like, eat your celery and do your push-ups and like be nice to yourself. And but then there was some other stuff. I like learned an instrument because the trauma like cuts some of the neural pathways in my brain, so my left and right side of my brain don't work quite right. So if I learn a instrument, then it'll help my neural pathways do whatever they do. And lots of hard work and whatnot. A year later, like, hey, am I smiling right now? Hey, this is kind of cool. Like, oh, I don't feel like shit today. And then every third day is like a little bit better. And you get enough of those little bit better days, and then it starts to kind of feel okay.
All of a sudden you're starting to emerge from.
Yeah, it's like, hey, life doesn't suck. This is kind of cool.
It was so interesting too. I mean, and I don't know that we need to go into this, but there was a fracture in your relationship and mine, and we kind of went separate ways for a little while. And and this last time, so I came back to Longs, and this is after a couple of years of disconnect, and I think that contributed probably to both of our some of our struggles. And so the last time I came back out, it's the first time I've been out to the cabin in Estes, and we climbed Longs, right? We ran up we hiked up Longs. We didn't, we didn't do any of those things. Like I think we were like kind of almost feeling each other out. Who are we? Like, who are we as friends? Like, who are we
here?
Yeah. And so, the objective was to go take on Longs, which I think that Longs, especially for you, is a primal source of your trauma, right?
Yeah. So that was like the first time I'd tried it since that time that I almost died.
And so this was like, in both of us, like I was extremely nervous. Like I overthought it. Like I was, like honestly, man, there was like high schoolers and college kids hiking up.
Like, we're doing like a cool hike,
Like this is, for sure.
Yeah, we're just going up the keyhole route. Like it's, we're not like, climbing for vertical sanctuary or something.
Yeah, but both of us had this, created it into something that it certainly was not, and certainly does not compare to some of the things that we used to, chase. But I remember this. It was another like almost transformative moment in time where it's like like I think your feet were frozen to the ground when we set off, right? Like it was just trauma is pulsing through you. It is.
I don't like starting stuff in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's like it's a 3 o'clock. Like this is not an easy objective. It's 19 miles. You start at 3 a.m. But like I watched that. That was the initiation point, and then I don't know where it was over the course of the climb,
Boulder Field.
Yeah, but I watched the Alex that I once knew emerge out of the cloud of all of that trauma, right? And you were like, all of a sudden, man, you were smiling and joking and talking to everybody and harassing people and
just talking shit,
to everybody. That was
so good. Oh, I'm having a great time. I remember like going up the trough and I'm just blah, 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 feeling great, right? And I hear some dude coughing. With that cough, that altitude cough. And it's just some random person down there. And I'm just like, hey, you, whoever's coughing down there, you need to sit down and drink some water, bro. What are you doing? You got to take care of yourself. Oh, man, I was just giving everybody shit. It was so, that was a great time.
Yeah, the joy was restored in some way.
Yeah.
And it was almost like the narrative was rewritten, right? Like this mountain that we're, this is interesting. We've been sitting here talking for so long that it's just gone.
It's gone
completely dark
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's a snowstorm.
It was also very bright in this room. And now, like, as we've been talking for the last 3 hours, the sun is
dark now.
Yeah. We were sitting in darkness at this moment in time.
It's snowing.
It's
supposed to dump 6 inches.
And go do some backcountry tomorrow, baby.
Hey, that sounds awesome.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, I just think about my own trajectory and story as it is unfolded, and because I went through similar losses of identity. You know, I had the brain injury, and you know, I had to spend a couple of years, you know, fighting Gentry's cancer, and it is just like this, like how you reforge your identity. I don't know. It's like this interesting thing, and I think I'm still in the process of figuring out who I am. You know, because I don't know that rock climber is not a central identity that I possess anymore, and you know, but it is in some respects, and deserves to be honored, and like it's part of the journey that got me to where I am. Although,
like, you climbed the nose, dude.
Yeah, you did some stuff, man.
You're a rock climber.
Officially a rock climber, right?
Yeah.
But like now, I take kids, like at risk, underserved kids, climbing. You know, like I've got this monthly Pay Climbing Forward thing, and it has truly restored the joy of climbing for me. You know,
really?
like man, we had this one. You know, the last month that we came, and we had all these kids from like YBGR. It's a boys' home, a boys and girls' home. You know, it's like a ranch, and these troubled kids, and they come to this, and we're just like we climb and we eat pizza, and you just love on them, man. Like just that is the whole point, right? Like I'm not preaching at them. I'm not trying to like tell them.
I enjoy both climbing and pizza.
Right? Yeah, the two two of the best things.
Certain kinds of pizza.
Yeah,
and all pizza.
And we get to the back room. We're all eating pizza, and like I just kind of started telling a little bit of my story, and then something like, I don't know, unfolded in that room. Like all the kids started telling their stories too. And like, man, there was something so profound and so powerful that was taking place. Like I was watching people heal, like, right. And then, and these kids, you know, I mean, their stories are horrific and but you know, it was this sharing, it was this healing process of sharing. And then we went rock climbing, right. And then like we went back out there and then took some power back.
Climbing has that, like,
it's powerful.
Yeah, it's like you have to do like what it takes, and you can't just like pass. You know, you like have to do it, and it's scary, or it can be, but when you get done, like, holy shit, I just did that. You get this sense of pride. Like, yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your worth, climbing can give that back to you.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing. I think more kids should climb. Like, shit, I probably wouldn't have spent so much time doing drugs if I had, you know, as a teenager, if I had kept climbing and taken those breaks there.
Yeah, maybe it's something, you know, I think about that. Like, it's a gift that I can give. It's a gift that saved me. Because I think the places that I was headed to prior to discovering climbing were, you know, it's like dead in a ditch or prison or, you know. And I think climbing gave me a meaningful path out of that.
Sure.
All right, so we started with kind of three themes, right? Climbing and friendship and mental health.
Mental health, yeah.
But truly, like, this is a climbing story. It's a trauma story. But like, I don't know. How do you want to wrap this up?
It's a tough one. I guess when I came to you about this, I was thinking about this idea of what makes somebody good. And, you know, kind of chatting about this, it seems like good is probably just relative. Like, I really enjoy this quote. It's, comparison is the thief of joy. Like, if you're always trying to be good, you're always trying to be whatever, like, that person that you assume is good, they might just assume that there's somebody out there trying. You know, like, maybe that's all that you need to do to be good is to show up and try. Or maybe, like, just showing up and trying, like, is all that it takes. And, like, being good isn't a real thing.
Yeah, that maybe that's not the point.
Yeah. It's like to do, you know, like, you got to stop and take a minute. Because, like, you just keep climbing because you got to keep climbing. But, like, sometimes you got to stop and look around because the whole idea was to be up here. And at some point, you're not, like, even if you stand at the top of the mountain, like, you know, eventually you're not going to be up there anymore. Like, if you don't enjoy the journey, then what are you even doing?
I like that idea of, comparison. Because like there was something neurotic, toxic about the way that I approached climbing. Like there was something wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on it. Like that Alex Lowe, like the best climber is the one having the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was like an expression of rage. Like I was trying to like tear something out of Earth itself.
You said I couldn't do this.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like maybe I had a voice inside of myself that said I couldn't do it. And so I was constantly comparing myself to this thing that I wished I was. Mm-hmm. And it probably was a thief of joy.
Yeah. If only I can make it to the top of this mountain, then I'll love myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
Like you are worthy in the parking lot, Like you're just going up there to have fun.
It was this last climbing group. There was something so powerful about it. But we were like in this moment in time where we were sharing these stories, and I watched these kids sort of discovering something that's very consistent with what you're describing. But this one girl, and she's trying her hardest, right? She can't make it to the top. The 40-foot wall. It's 5 fun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched her like articulate that, like that. Maybe I don't have to be as good as her or him, or like maybe that goal is fine, right? And I can push myself, and I can and that can be okay. Like I can be okay with that. And I watched her just sort of discover that. What a joyful discovery.
There's this like magical thing that happens at the climbing gym. It's one of the reasons I love the climbing gym. I got a whole lot of reasons why
I love the climbing gym.
Climbing gyms like ruin the sport and whatever. But like, man, you're like every so often somebody's just up trying hard, right? And then they're just going for it. Mm-hmm. And I swear it doesn't matter if it's like what grade the route is, whatever. It's the fact that that person is currently attempting to do something that is harder than they think they can do.
You're just like contagious too, right?
And you could see it, you know? Yeah. And then everybody in the gym like notices and just starts cheering. Like, I don't care if you're new and you're like climbing the steep 5'9" or whatever, or you're like one of the hard men who like really thinks that climbing 5'14" on plastic like means something. And like either way, like you can just see those people trying hard and you cheer them on. And there's this like,
it's like a celebration of our humanity, right? Like
everybody's like, come on, just try. Yeah. And it's this togetherness thing that's fantastic. I love watching people overcome and like get to the other side of seeing, like, I didn't think I could do that. And holy shit, I just did that.
Yeah, you can find the edge of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Your capacity.
It's climbing.
And you can find out that you're more than you thought you were.
Yeah. Some people can get that from like, I don't know, crocheting. Like, I didn't think I could make a sweater. And like, that's awesome. Rock climbing's another way that you can find that. And it's a really, for me, it was like the first and only way that I found that. Like, some people find that in fishing. Some people find, there's a lot of those things, but I think it's all about the journey. Mm-hmm. It's the doing of the thing and the trying to like push yourself and be better that makes it worth doing.
Yeah, man. Let's leave it there, huh?
All right.
I love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
All right.
Hope this podcast thing works out for you.
Yeah, we'll see. This was pretty fun,
That was all right.
Thank you for listening to the Pay Love Forward podcast. If this conversation moved you, inspired you, or made you pause to reflect, don't let it in there. Pay Love Forward is more than a podcast. It's a movement, a community, a way of being. At its heart is a simple commitment to invest in others in ways that multiply. In partnership with Resilient Stories, we're committed to hearing the story within the story, the deeper narrative of courage, compassion, and renewal that reminds us who we are and what we're capable of together. If you'd like to walk with us, find a mentor, find a mentee, or join one of our community gatherings. You can connect through Facebook or visit www.payloveforward.net to learn more. Let's keep building something beautiful together.